145 or 150, yeah, something like that. We'll be back to discuss the eventual rate cut of a quarter point. Take that to the bank, according to Fed. So yeah, no surprise there at 2 p.m. But join us as we'll be trading it then with you. On to the midday, boys. Let's go get them, Sharif and Joe.
Go get them.
Boom! Hey, greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. That's your boy Joey Options, and I'm Sharif. All class Adam is back in the house. Shout out to Adam. Welcome back, brother. It's been a hot minute. Shout out to Oxlong, Wampadilla. We got Nygaard and Chase the Packs. He ain't chasing money, chasing the pack. Gary F, Jody Mills. We got Eski, Saul G, Danny Patel. Shout out to Yannick, Durant, Dan. Curly Fries, Flatner, that's crazy right there. Blackhawk JP, shout out to Ryan, Rage Quit Radio. We got the OG Other Zinc, bless you Ram, Clipwave, Dexter Smith, as well as T-Moon, Rogelio Concepcion. We got DeLeon and Dexter Smith, man. Shout out to Irish Talks. Ichiro, get it, my man. Pavel. We got, who else, man? Theo Vroman, Jaguar Nut, PMAC, Kyle Lynn. We got Saga. We got, who else? Papacito. Cody Var. I don't know why I did that voice like that, but Joey, but I'm not taking it back. We got JC, Andrew Chow. Who else, man? Come on, throw your name in the chat if you're new. Howard. We got Becky V, Big 40 Nephew, Wise Investor. Shout out to Justin, running back in Cloud C. One more, Joey. Who are we going to do? Wicked, Chunky, Trades. Whoop, whoop. Right back at you, girl. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Good morning, Joey.
Good morning. This is for my buddy, your Huckleberry.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, let's go. We're rocking and rolling, guys. Let's go, Blue Jay, says ADL. Peer class. Yeah, man, a lot going on this morning. Some fun stuff to talk about. Multiple trades being taken place. It's been a pretty good start this far. If you've been trading NVDA, you've been having a fantastic morning. Hopefully we don't want to make any assumptions, right? As one of the famous rappers once said, believe half the things you see and nothing that you've heard. So I don't know. There's no correlation, and I don't know. I wouldn't go by that anyways. You want to believe what you see. But anyways, I'm having audio issues, someone's saying. Save woman, man, peace. Guys, confirm. I'm not hearing it from anybody else. Assassino, let me know. What's up, Mike Peter Ryder? Enough is enough. Let's get into some of the trades that we took today. Tesla, one of our better, actually, is it? No. NVDA was hands down the best of the trade. Audio is fine, says Martin Z. But let's take a look at what we got going on here with Tesla. So we take the short initially, a nice short signal. I'm like, okay, let's rock and roll. If it holds up and we don't establish a new high, I think we're good to go. This is what I'm going off of, essentially. So a beautiful print right there, above the volume weighted average price. Attempt number one, we get stopped out. No problem. Volume starts to pick up, and you can see the momentum start to head towards the volume weighted average price. And then that's why we know Hesitation Nation over there. And then we take additional short. Boom, 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 boom. So we're still sitting in this one. I have 10% remaining of that. But let's go over a couple more trades. What was our better of the day? Our best trade was going to be NVDL. That's correct. But just some scalps on it. So we'll break this down. This one I was frustrated. I'm like, no, why did I do that? So I take that move and then I got out. There was no accident. That was full on intentional right there. So we're not going to beat around the bush. But bang up there, VWAP hold, piece them out, piece them out. A nice little ad looking for the break of the high of the day. We didn't get it. I moved there. But other than that, our best performing name on the day is that. And then also Robinhood. So we've traded 4 names on today. And we'll go 4 for 4. Bang. We like that. A nice little scalp on Robinhood. Well, why did I decide to go long here? Let's break it down one more time. So essentially an indecision print off of the lows. You get that hammer candle close, and then bang, we take that move right into the volume weighted average price. So that was that one. And one more street before we send it off.
Yes, sir.
Yes, this one I'm not in any. Oh, okay, yeah, because I haven't done any transactions yet, Pathic. So once I do, you'll see it pop up there on TSLL. And then, yep, absolutely. Just let me go through this there, Assassino. Bang. And this was short on my darling IBIT. And this thing is getting smoked. I bought some more contracts. Guys, we're going to go over the game plan. You are a mini. Yeah, shout out Katina, man. I appreciate that. Bang, 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 bang. So essentially what I got going on here, and much appreciated, obviously, Katina. So essentially what I got going on here, we'll break it down a little bit more. I have a game plan with this. So if we don't get a pop at that come the FOMC cut, Sharif,
yes, sir.
What I have to do against my position, considering I'm in on 5 contracts, is that we're going to have to calendar spread this and start writing some potential calls against my current long call position. And it's not going to be the equal dated. It's going to be a calendar spread, closer dated. We're going to get more into that as soon as we get back from my guy Sharif. But first and foremost.
Yes, sir. Uh-oh. Oh, Joey, it's not that number. That number's not improving, Joey. That number, I don't know what to say to anymore. You know what I mean?
Hold on, I know what to say.
What are you gonna say?
You have the option to like and subscribe. This trade has unlimited upside. Oh.
I like it.
All right, man.
All right, here we go. Let's talk about ERNA. I'm involved in this one right here. Look. This one is putting in a whole bunch of higher lows. That's really what's keeping me interested. So look at the bottom chart right there. Area low, 160. Area low, 182. Area low, 2. So here we go. We've got 7s. We just wet the beak at 14s. Let's take out some right there. We're looking for continuation. Look, it's up nicely, 70.5%, but it's having really trouble coming back into the high. The high is 286. I like the trend hold. I like a squeeze into 2.5. I find that the real resistance level on this bad boy is 2.5, despite the fact that it's worked its way up into 286. But look at MSAI go boom to the high side. We take this one for a 130 break. Why do I like 130? We'll take a gander at what we did over here at 10.05 and 10.10. 130 was a clear level of resistance. We drop and then we pop, right? We take that level out, 142. Here we are trading at 137, knocking on the door of that 142, and so I'm looking for a little bit more over here. Call me greedy, but that's what I'm going to be waiting for there, right at that 140 level. Let's quickly now go back to ERNA as this one's working as well in the 16s. I've seen this one price spike up aggressively before. Take a look at the candle at 9:15, aggressive price spike. You saw that also in the pre-market at 8:30, but you also saw it during regular trading hours, 10:20. It has this tendency to have an aggressive bid come in. When it comes in, you know, your guess is as good as mine. I'm just trying to pick it up off key levels where I feel the buyers are picking this one up. So ERNA and MSAI are the ones that are in focus for me, but I want to get to this other trade that was very short-lived and negative for me. SLGB, this one was holding trend very, very nicely on the 10 EMA. And then it gave it up, as they typically do. It is finding support at the 20, top right of your screen, guys. It's not up big. It's up 10 and 2/3 right now, but it's double bottomed off the 20. So if this one continues to make a move up and makes a new 5-minute candle to make a new high, I think I'm going to try my hand at this one again. SLGB, the one I'm talking about. We're going to Adara.
Keep an eye here on Boeing BA. We're getting comments here from CEO Kelly Ortberg saying that the impacts of those 777X delays on their suppliers, quote, might be significant or might be fairly insignificant. So some commentary here in the 777X delays. Now, we know the 777 delays actually resulted in a fairly significant impact on Boeing's report this quarter. So BA here on watch. I've seen commentary from executives from this company throughout the day. Right now, it could be the call. Usually, I feel like the Boeing call is around 11 a.m., and I will look into that. But also, we do have Kelly Ortberg saying that Boeing is going to be exiting the year, quote, very soundly. So interesting look there. I'll keep you guys posted on what Kelly Ortberg has to say. Back to you.
All right, Joey, what are you keeping an eye on there, brother?
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. That would be absolutely disastrous. Yeah, for sure, Mike Peter Ryder. At your own pace, by all means, brother, keep doing your thing. I know you like to trade small caps, so come the FOMC meeting, I think you'll be sitting in a good position. There's going to be plenty of opportunity to get involved with these markets after that, so just be patient. Nothing wrong with sitting on your hands until that point. I was thinking about doing the exact same thing, but there are some opportunities. Other sessions, I have no issue whatsoever. It's just waiting until 2 o'clock, and if you find something, then congratulations, and if you don't, then by all means, guess what? it's Thursday tomorrow, and you can have another opportunity because the market opens up at 4 a.m. Oh, I was looking at Blue Ocean last night. Some NVDA was trading nice on Blue O last night. I didn't trade anything. Was watching Jays and just trying to limit screen time currently right now. So anyways, aside from that, let's go Tesla. We'll post up at 21.75 to see if we can catch an offer on that front. Let's get that put in there, and I don't have much left. Again, it's been a solid morning, so I'll be patient, and I'm looking forward to this OFL.
Oklo?
Is it going nuts?
It's freaking going, dude. It's about to go 10% right now.
Really?
It's a breakout.
Oh, wow. Look at the volume step in there, too, Shreve. Great call out there, my friend. That's a big-time move in Oklo. Let's zoom out and take a look at the daily. I mean, I think this is a good opportunity. This is obviously going to be a key resistance zone because you don't want this to start forming a head and shoulder, right? Like shoulder one, boom, boom, boom. So if you have the ability to break through, sit on top of that, who knows what can happen with this name. So bang, we just caught another fill there in Tesla.
Get it, Joey.
As it's continuing to sell. I mean, as of late, the past couple of sessions, wow, look at this move to the downside. Excuse me. The past couple of sessions, Tesla has been absolutely phenomenal, trading higher and higher and higher. So this is totally warranted. But there it is, a nice little move to the downside there.
All right, guys, we're doing it here on MSAI, popping back up. We went the beak there at local area highs. I like the higher lows. I don't like the fact that it's rejecting south of 40, but I like the fact that on the 5-minute chart, we're getting higher lows on this bad boy. So MSAI, the one in focus. But I didn't bring in my black charts to show you guys what I'm looking at today. So we talked about MSAI, we talked about ERNA, and I briefly brought up SLGB. But remember WKEY from this one yesterday? Well, it just got into the day's high, guys. 1524, we are lower than yesterday. So we have a couple of resistance levels that we got to keep in mind. That 18, 17 3/4, 18, that was a day high yesterday. But we also have to account for this implied balance high right at 16 to 16 1/4. That could be a level of resistance if we get above the pre-market high and break above 15 1/4. There will be likely a gap. I like this gap here between that 15 1/4 to 16, 16 1/4. So WKEY in focus. AXGN. Look at this clean buy program here. Barely any red candles. Certainly not many red candles in the volume bars on the bottom, but fantastic. Shout out. Who was that? Who was that? Shout out to Met Alt Ord. Lock in. I'm locked, baby. I'm locked. Shout out to you. Thank you.
Who's saying lock in?
I don't know. It's this Met guy. I like him. Who cares? He's telling me to lock in.
All
No
right,
big
lock
deal.
in, man.
So AXGN Assassino, I like this one. It doesn't really touch the 10 EMA. It shows you how strong of a buy program that is. So I'm keeping my eye on that. HAMA, light on volume, likely to lose its spot on the side chart momentarily here because the volume is dropping and it's doing bupkis. Okay? And then last but not least, CSIQ, Canadian Solar. This is not really like my definition of a small cap gapper. It's barely above $1 billion. This thing used to have promise, man. I made money on this thing holding it from the 30s into the 40s. This is a friend of mine's play, Alfred. Apparently it's run by like a husband and wife combination, but they've been crap in the bed as of late. I mean, really not their fault. The entire industry hasn't been good. We saw ENPH report this morning. Anyway, CSIQ, say that again, Fabian?
Headline.
CSIQ is continuing to go 1860, the high, 1840 trading right now. Beautiful bull flag breakout and a good continuation on this one. I'll keep my eye on that. And then last but not least, WETH. Look, this one was a buy program yesterday. It wasn't on my radar, but look how clean that buy was. We end up closing out at the highs, and then lo and behold, this morning, we hold yesterday's highs. So it's a fantastic look for WETH. It's straddling the 10 EMA right now with a lot of lower highs, so this is going to have to break trend. As Neil would like to say, you know, he's not going to get involved unless that trend is broken. I'm going to be looking for that trend. I like it. He commented. He's like, yeah, I like that. I'm not getting involved in this one until the trend is broken, but it's going to stay on my radar, guys. So those are the 8 that I'm keeping my eye on. We'll see if we can get in on some new ones there, Joey.
All right, man. Shout out to E-Passions out there giving us this name this morning. He's like, no one's really listening to me. But when you have a chart that looks like this, you have to, at the end of the day. This is insane. So from August, middle of the summer, all the way to where we're currently trading, you're up 400%, almost 350, 360. 5-minute, Big time move from an intraday standpoint too, man. So yeah, way to point that one out. Hopefully you're an owner of this. This looks absolutely phenomenal. Quantum name, Montreal quantum name to be exact. Oh. Gorev's going long. There's signals printing across the board, Gorev. On the Qs, I'm going to avoid the TQs. I like Tesla. I'm short it currently right now. I have no issues with flipping that bias, but there it goes. That print that we're looking for. Let's see if the go picked that one up there. I don't know if it will, but maybe possibly. So there it is on TSLA. It's going to be really tight. Speaking of, let's take a look at it. Shout out to Gander, or I was going to say take a gander on that. Boom, Tesla, head over to the 5-minute. So you guys know that so it didn't pick it up. That's okay though, we're not too worried about that. I know why it didn't, so again, it didn't fit the criteria, and that's good. You want to be a little bit more selective. But aside from that, guys, we're catching prints all day here on Tesla, which is pretty good. But let's break down what I was getting at with just writing my calls. Full disclosure, I'm already down $1,000 on some of them. So I don't know, it's comical to me at this point. Because you win some, you lose some, right? Yeah, and it's just how it is. So what do? That's the beauty about these options, man, is that you can just take advantage of them. So essentially 51 days out, we're going to look to write some of these 70 calls. Those were worth $250 this morning, so $25 down already. Let's take a look at the profile just so we can see. So your probability of profit sitting around 76%, which I like a lot. And then my max return is going to be $1,000 roughly, 908, which I like. So that's going to be until December 19th. If we collect 50 to 60% of that, then I'll be happy. My contracts don't expire until May, but I'm going to be adding one more. I have 4 on here. Let's actually just do that now. Let's add this up here. We're gonna increase the quantity. So essentially what I'm doing here, guys, is just I'm hedging against my current position. It's that simplistic. So instead of me starting off with a bull call spread, I'm waiting for the FOMC. So essentially what I'm thinking is gonna happen, we're gonna get the pop in the crypto space, and then over the weekend maybe we can get somewhat of a continuation. If that isn't the case and the rest of the week Bitcoin continues to be choppy and churny and just do whatever it's been doing for the past couple of months, then that's when I'm going to write these calls. 5 calls to be exact. Again, 76% probability of profit with a max return of $1,100, and that's going to be expiring December 19th. So if it continues to not move in an orderly type way, then I'm going to be able to collect probably about 60 to 70% of that premium and then roll those contracts over if I still don't like it. But after I've written a couple and it's not working in my favor, I'm going to reduce my size. So essentially what I did is I'm averaging in. So FIFO, first in, first out. Oh. My higher price contracts will be eliminated first. I will realize somewhat of a loss, but that's going to allow me to have the better average price and then also write against those as well too. I don't want to hold them forever until they expire worthless. That's not the game plan. We obviously want the price appreciation, but you have to have a strategy, and that's what I got going on with these options.
I like it, Joey. As specific as it gets right there, man. I mean, like you put it on a silver platter.
Yeah, but
so shout out to Joey Options, my man. All right, couple of things to update you on. Just allow me a second over here. I'm trying to throw in a breakout trade. So we're gonna buy, and we're gonna give it a 2-penny spread there, Joey, for a possible breakout trade on WETH. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that. All right. A couple of new trades over here. We got stopped out of the remaining amount on MSAI. It broke trend, so we get out of dodge, took out the majority. SLGB, we're trying our hand at this one. As I mentioned, I found support at the 20 EMA, and now it's made a first 5-minute candle to make a new high. I'm talking about SLGB, up 12%. There's the second beak wetter there at 12s. 26. We got 22s on. Next one at 29. That was the end of my order, so probably behooves me to throw out some more. And there it goes, taking out my order through 30, and it's actually showing me 33, but it's got a cross, so we'll have to pack her patience on that one. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on. SLGB, looking for continuation. We just got back into the high of the day, which is 3 1/3, and there it goes, Joey, taking out my order now, showing me 35s. There it is, 36s now. The breakout seems to be on. 37s is where I'm waiting. It's showing me 37s. There it it is. It's now showing me 40s, and then we're going to take out 42s. 44s now showing up on SLGB. If we can pop up a little bit, unlike my chair, which keeps dropping over here. I don't know what's going on with that one, Joey. We're going to have to see.
We got to tighten that one.
We got to tighten that one up. All right, shout out to the man. All right, so we're keeping an eye here on SLGB now, 18 2/3 trip printing into the high of the day. Go SLGB, go, and there it goes again, Joey. We're waiting, and there it is again. Boom, through the $0.50 it goes. Sorry, 49's area high. Now we're posting at 54. Let's see if we can get that continuation. 50 showing up now on the level 2. There's 53. We want one more now for 54. Let's go. We're seeing 55. There it is, Joey. We're taking it out. Now we're posting at 60 here on SLGB. Let's see if this one can go, or the $0.50 is going to be a little bit of a resistance level. Pack in the patience. Let's see what comes. Forgot to tell you about this trade. We're in the Alfred special here, CSIQ, looking for that 60 penny break. There does seem to be a large seller, pardon me, at 50. What keeps me optimistic, let me get out of this trade on SLGB because it looks like it's coming down. Let me just pack my patience on that one for a second. But what I want to say about CSIQ, what keeps me optimistic that this will take out the top at 1860 is the umpteen amount of bottoming tail candles. So it's not exactly rocketing up through the $18.50 level, but what I'm seeing is buyers becoming more exuberant every time this one dips down. They're buying it at higher and higher levels. Whether or not that means another seller of note comes in and tanks this, we'll have to wait and see. I'm trying to pack my patience. I'm waiting at 55s, excuse me. It's showing me 54s. There it is. We get the print there. Now that's a good move here on CSIQ. 2 pennies off the high. We're at 58s. We're waiting for a 60 print, and then we've got really nothing layered above that. So it probably behooves me to throw in some more orders. Pack in the patience here on CSIQ. Still a seller at 58, but look at that spread tighten up. It was as wide as 7. Now it's 1 or 2 pennies at the most. So I'm liking what I see here from CSIQ. And there it goes, Joseph, into the high of the day again. Nice move here on CSIQ. Let's post a little bit higher now. We're going to wait at 67s. And then you already know. Where are you at, Ozan? I hope Ozan's in the chat because I'm posting at 69. Only for you, Ozan. Not like I ever do it on my own.
Dang. All right, nice square, man. As always, so yeah, I mean, just give it the and actually, no, I'm not doing it. It's not time for that. Aside from that, guys, there it is. Tesla, attempt 1. We get stopped out. Attempt number 2. We get right back to the paint in that free throw line, and then just boom, 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 boom. Again, 1 strikeout. Vladdy Guerrero homer against Shohei Ohtani. Big time, man. Listen, I'm not gonna talk about.
You're not gonna dunk on him? You're not gonna dunk on Shohei?
No.
He reaches base 9 times against us the previous game. Oh,
is that new? Did you just get that?
Is that new? You've had that one for a hot minute.
Hey.
Yeah, I remember. Get it, Neil.
All right, bang.
He reaches base 9 times. 9 times. I don't know if that's a record or not. It feels like it is. Yeah. And then you want him to have a good game against us? If we didn't dunk on him yesterday, I would have felt like this big.
You know what I mean?
Like, we definitely needed to have a game.
Someone in the chat said, I forget what it is, the Toronto Dodgers and the LA Dodgers. Just the way that they worded it made me laugh because people say that they're.
What do you mean Toronto Dodgers?
No, that's what they were calling them. Don't quote me. I'm not saying it right, but just the way that
weren't they
put
the Brooklyn Dodgers? I think that they were.
No,
in New
it's
York.
a little bit. It's a little bit,
right?
No, it's a little job. Just saying. I think they're just saying both cities are woke or something along those lines.
Oh yeah. Well,
like listen. We're not getting into that there, Sharif. Now I want Toronto to win. Dodgers.
That'll go off well with everybody in the chat.
It's not going to go off well. Yeah, exactly. So we don't want to start this. It's been fantastic. There's no questioning about that. But yeah, guys, if there's anything specific that you're looking at, please let me know. In the meantime, you know what time it is. We're going to go over the top performing sectors of the day. There it is. Yeah. Well, exactly. Trust me.
Chat's undefeated, bro.
You got tough skin around here, man.
Undefeated.
It's hard to offend Sharif and I personally. So there it is, guys. All right, let's take a look at the top performing sectors of the day. We got the tech sector leading the way, guys, up 0.9%. A little bit more. Industrials up about 0.9 exact. Same thing. Chat is gnarly. Yeah, the chat is undefeated. Energy 0.8%. The bottom three, guys, we got the financials taking it on the nose this morning, the brunt of that. Consumer staples, 1.6% down, and then the real estate sector also getting rocked as well, too. Could we see a potential pop in the real estate sector, Sharif? I like that you brought that one up earlier this morning, saying, hey, with this rate cut looming, could this be a good time for small caps and the real estate sector? Speaking of, let's take a look at XLRE. How you been? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? How you been doing? Hot garbage.
Okay.
Oh man, that is not good whatsoever.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's just, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right? Builders ain't building.
They ain't building.
Millennials don't have money.
They don't.
You know what
not
I mean?
yet,
Like,
anyways, until we get the great wealth. Until the great wealth chamber.
Right?
I want to say, like, if you're a millennial in the chat, let me know what you're spending it. Are you buying a house? Are you buying Bitcoin? Are you buying Labubus? Or like, are you just buying materialistic things that essentially gain no value for your life at the end of the day? Please let me know. I'm curious to see what's going on there. But no, in all seriousness, XLRE, not too bad of a look. Street. Before I send it back to you, I want to go over a couple more sectors here. That's going to be XLS. No, what is that? Come on, we want. What is I used to know them all off by heart, man. My poor brain. XLC. No, that's communications. What's the staples? XL.
I don't know about that.
I used to know them all, man. Anyways, XLF. So there it is. We'll go over the financials. We'll go over the ones that I know right now. Quantum, Joe. Yeah, Quantum's moving. All right, let's take a look at never mind those some of these sector performers. We want to go right to the big dogs that seem to be moving today, and that's going to be the quantum spaces. Shout out to
XLP.
XLP. That's it. Staples, right? XLP. We're going back to the staples. Getting rocked today, guys. On the daily. Not too good of a look either. Geez Louise. All right, guys, let's take a look at RGTI. A lot of people saying that we've been moving pretty steadily in that name. A solid session. You see that at one point we were down like 41%. A nice little bounce off of those lows. Head back to that 5-minute chart, and sure enough, you're breaking through some pre-market zones and post-market zones. Where's that next level? 40
Where's
could
it at?
41 could be in the works for today, Sharif.
All right, bro. All right. Working my way back into SLGB, so an ugly topping tail candle into 357, comes back, generally holds trend. Where are we long? We're long at 27s. It's showing me 33s. Current bar low, I believe, is 20. Pardon me, just give me a sec to find out here. Current bar low is 20. Prior area low is the 20 EMA retracement where I got in 312. So that's my out. 312, that's the end of the trade, which is this bad boy right here. If it breaks area low, then that's not the right move. Simple as that. So let's go ahead and post at 311 or so.
Beautiful.
And then we're going to give it a little bit of room there, Joey, in case, you know, the spread opens up. And this SLGB one is a bit spready. 22 on the bid, 35 on the ask. So be careful with this one. Layer your order, so if you get a price spike up, you get the fill. There we go. Keeping an eye on this one. Showing me 34s now, but it's got a cross for me to get filled. The volume is really not that good on SLGB, quite frankly, here. MSAI is trying to find its footing back at 15, but it's below VWAP, and that ain't my move. And then last but not least, CSIQ, back involved in this one. It broke trend, but I still like how this is being bought up. So what I'm going to give it to is prior bar low, which is at the $0.25. We're in at 45s. It's showing me 45, so we're break even currently on it. Jameson, HLIT may not be enough volume. Let's take a look at that one super quick for the OG. HLIT. Yeah, it's not doing enough volume, brother. Yeah, you're absolutely right. 80,000 and a half shares. So yeah, that one is going to be a little bit light for me, brother. FJ, what's up with PayPal? It had that headline yesterday with OpenAI. Looks like it's a bit of a sell the news event today. What is PayPal doing percentage-wise? We are down on PayPal about 3%. But let's zoom a little bit wider. It had earnings, of course, yesterday, as well as the headline with OpenAI, and it's given back the entire move. So that's kind of sad, right? But look, this company's had a whole bunch of trouble basically from the pandemic onwards, the end of the pandemic onwards. So it was trading at about $71 in the pre-market yesterday. It popped up to 82, and it's below $71 now. It's 70.82. So that's not a good move. That's a bit of a give back everything, so to speak. What are we talking about? WKEY, shout out to the OG, 2 New York cents. WKEY is a holdover from yesterday. It's still on my side chart. It feels like it might be flat top breakish through 15.25, a bit of an ascending wedge pattern. Not really. I think I'm grasping at straws here. Look, I've already put the order for this one. If it takes out 15.25, I already have an order to go long. Right now it's at 14.85. It's putting in higher lows, so I see the trend, but I'm also really alive to the fact that, you know, it hasn't been able to take that level out, whether in the pre-market or regular trading hours. It's still up 19% and change from yesterday's close. This one did give back a little bit yesterday. We got into about 18 bucks. By the time all was said and done, we closed out about 12.50. So we're substantially above that 12.50 right now, trading at 14.80. I like it, but I'd like it a little bit better if it broke through the technicals that I've earmarked. So we're going to wait for the set technicals to break out. Otherwise, we do not get involved. Keeping an eye here on some of the others. I'm not really liking anything other than the ones I'm involved in right now. I got to tell you. So if there's any new small cap gappers weaseling onto the scene, and I see one here, MAMK. What is this one all about? 1 second, SSC. We're just going to look at MAMK real quick over here. Light on volume so far. We still only have 1 million shares traded, but look at this. Look where the volume started coming in, 10:45. So we're about 45 minutes deep, being 10:30. It's already losing the volume weighted average price, so be really careful with this one. I'm talking about MAMK, which is losing the bid. Quickly, before we go to Adara for the crypto segment, I want to look at NNVC as well, which is also trading near highs. NNVC. There you go, bull flag continuation breakout. We get the initial bull flag 9:30. We do very little, and there the volume steps back in at 11:15. We take out area highs. I'll be keeping an eye on this one. I won't be quick to jump in. It's up 20.5%. Adara.
Let's start this crypto segment with a news story adjacent to the crypto space that's going to be about Terra. Now, Terra, of course, now having this deal with Google as well, but they are also a Bitcoin miner, which is why I want to bring them up here. This morning, they announced they're trying to raise $575 million to help fund their data center ambitions, which are backed by Google. Now, they're going to do this, though, via a $500 million convertible note offering. Why we had this move down pre-market. Then there also have plans to raise another $75 million in debt following that first offering. So bit of a story here in WULF, again, a Bitcoin miner worth discussing today. But always worth discussing is Bitcoin itself. BTC on the daily chart here continuing to struggle with that area just above 116,000. And right now we're actually on our third red day. Let's see if this day closes red or if we get a little bit of a bounce here with depending on what the market does here on Fed day. Again, 2 p.m. Eastern is going to be when we get that FOMC rate decision. We are widely expecting there to be a 25 basis point cut, but no matter what the decision is, Bitcoin is certainly, like the whole rest of the market, absolutely going to be on watch. Back to you.
So I did something yesterday.
What'd you do?
So, you know, I've been playing tennis this year.
Yeah.
A lot, right?
Yeah.
So I've got over 30 sessions logged in since the beginning of May.
Yeah.
To last weekend. Over 30. Almost 40, to be honest. Signed up for a tournament.
Oh,
First
really?
tourney.
Doubles?
Here's how we're doing it.
Doubles?
Okay,
all right, I'm
we
listening.
signed up for 2.
Yeah.
We signed up for the singles.
Yeah.
Beginner, which is what I am. And then we're doing mixed doubles. All right? So we're going to do mixed doubles. Now, here's the deal.
Yeah.
I play with her all the time,
Yeah.
right? And she's basically the one that kind of got me into it. She's a lot more technically sound than I am.
Yeah.
But let's be real.
Yeah.
Who's been winning the games?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Right?
Ooh.
Which drives her nuts because I can hit the ball harder and I can place it now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But when you see like her actual technical skill, she's still
substantially better.
Yeah, well, bro, she's been doing this.
So how you feeling
all
in
her
the
life.
tournament?
So here's the deal, right? So the way that we're gonna set up is I'm gonna serve, right? Well, you basically take turns, but there's more of like an advanced person who plays in front of the net, and there's more of a person who kind of plays in the back.
Yeah.
You're supposed to switch when you're serving, like depending on who's serving, but I think we're just gonna do it for like me sitting in the back. But anyway, so tourney. And the deal is, Joey, there's money on the line.
No.
There's money on the line, Joey.
Yeah, winners win. Get some cash, Ola.
So top 3 get cash.
Woohoo.
So the top one, 5K, okay, for both singles and doubles.
Yeah.
Second, 1K. Third, $250. which is kind of a bit of a
we'll
letdown.
take it, man. You get your money back, though, I think, at that point, right? The third
exactly,
place?
Yeah, we had to sign up. It's part of the thing.
Is it at the same club?
It's at the club.
At the club? All right. So, I mean, you guys have a little bit of an advantage there, you know, the core.
Not really, because everybody is from the club anyway, right?
Okay.
So it's everybody.
How do you feel you guys stand compared to some
I think we're pretty good. It really depends on who signs up, because the expiration of the sign up is not yet. So we haven't really seen fully
haven't seen the comp
who's coming in.
Crazy.
But we played with a lot of these people because we constantly play against people at the club.
Is it like gentleman serves and stuff like that?
No, so you're going to have to go back and forth, right?
Really?
That's what mixed doubles is, right? So.
Well, no, I mean like gentleman serve, like not literally.
Oh, no. We're playing normal.
Right.
Full normal.
All right.
So, hopefully we'll come in with a little bit of money.
Little cash,
little
little 5K cash, baby. Don't buy.
Duluth is signing up. That's it. I'm out. I'm calling it.
Is Duluth a tennis guy or
I don't
what?
know, man. He probably looks like a tennis guy.
Yeah, I read the English,
all
man.
class Adam, you know.
I think Adam's a polo guy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, he's a soccer guy, that's for sure.
Well, polo, man. Gotta play a little polo.
Ronaldo,
no,
you're killing me,
yeah,
bro.
pickleball is sick. I like pickleball. So HQ lost 70%, 75%. Let's take a look at that one. HQ. Oh, I don't even have access to it, or do I? Oh, yeah, no, it's not even allowing me to pull it up good. He's probably going to get smoked. No, soccer and golf. All right, boys, let's go, says Los Pollos. All right, there you are. I was wondering where you were on today's session there, Mr. Los, yourself. AMD trading to a high of around 266 down to 260 there. So taking a little bit of a haircut is advanced money duplicator. Let's pull up the actual NVDA options chain and see what we got going on. We were talking about the 200 strike price earlier in today's session. That's boom. That's so see you later. 178,000 contracts there, 51,000 traded. Where's the real concentration at that 210 right now? 54,000 contracts open and closed with 168. Open and then 168 contracts actually opened and closed there. So not too bad of a look at the money IV. A slight increase from what we experienced from yesterday. 65% is what was documented. Today, we're up to 71.1% there, my friend.
All right. Keeping an eye here on WKEY, guys, as it's trying to make yet another attempt at 15. It had the candle that closed at 11:30 has a low of 1467. This current candle has a higher low and a higher high. I'm talking about the 5-minute chart. And I'm thinking I might take my attempt here at this one for a 15 break and take. It's already not showing me what I want. It's turning into a topping tail candle, and it's still not holding trend. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hold off before I get into this one here, to be quite honest with you. I'm keeping an eye on WKEY. There's just not a whole lot happening right now in small cap gap world, so I'm trying to find something here, guys. But yeah, it's pickings are slim again, but that's all right. We'll find something. So keeping my eye on that one. Also thinking about AXGN a little bit over here. Let's bring it in, side chart. AXGN trying to hold at 10 EMA. I'm also thinking about WETH, but this is the one that I brought to you guys not long ago, NNVC. Had that bull flag breakout, drops into VWAP. Now it just took out the high. There's a seller at 85s. But it's just not doing enough volume here for me to feel comfortable jumping into this one. So I think I might hold off on that one as well. Yeah, guys, the pickings are slim. CSIQ is back into the 10 EMA. That's the first time on the day since basically 9:30 at the open that it's touched the 10 EMA. So I'm possibly thinking maybe another a buy over here. What I can do, though, instead of trying to buy a falling knife, is I can wait for this candle to close, which has got another 2 minutes, see where it closes at and what the subsequent candle does, and then we can possibly get back in to CSIQ at those levels. But Joey, it's a light bunch right now, man. I really don't have a whole lot.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that's setting up quite to my liking. So if there's any of you guys that are keeping an eye on these small cap gappers, I'd love to know about them. Otherwise, really, I don't have too much. MAMK, I brought this one to you guys as well. It's still holding trend. It's getting bought up off the volume weighted average price, but it's only about 1.3 million shares so far, which is better than when we first saw it. It was like 600,000. So MAMK could also be one, but again, not the best one, Joey.
All right, cool, brother. Yeah, so I'm. Oh, bless
Excuse me.
Bless thy brother. Yeah, guys, I mean, I'm going to be talking a lot about this, just considering, right, like we're in the swing trade, we tell you guys what's going on and everything along those lines. This might be a big mistake considering how I'm sized into it as well, too. Like, I was talking to Trav, man, earlier in the day. He's like, yeah, I love options. I love them too, especially even more so when they work out. But when you leverage your systems in an underlying that is essentially moving like this, I get it. You get these moves, but it's just a multi-month consolidations. And this one's pretty lengthy. I mean, we've done essentially not too much since July, early July. So July, August, September, October. And then we're almost in November. So that's 5 months of, like, do something, man. So yeah, again, we can talk a little bit about MSTR, but it's just going to fall into the realm of what Bitcoin's doing. If Bitcoin's not appreciating, MSTR has no reason to do so either, regardless of how much they raise. Right? At the end of the day, there's MSTR. Downtrend is still like. I can't even give a percentage metric on how really intact this downtrend, and it's 50,000% intact. That doesn't make much sense now, does it? But at the end of the day, I'm being sarcastic and saying, hey, well, why isn't MSTR doing anything? It's a leveraged system of essentially what Bitcoin is, and Bitcoin's not doing much either. So I know Katina Man, I know Neil and Katina Man have a little opposing views on Bitcoin. Right now, Neil's not worried. I think in the long term, you don't have to be worried, but in this short term, we're having the rate cuts. We didn't get the move that we were expecting on the previous rate cut. When we did get that pop, that was when the government was shutting down, so you started to see that rally, but then you immediately were met by some aggressive selling. So what's going on here? And it's so hard for me to not think in the realm of like, hey, it doesn't move like it used to. So many institutions are getting involved in this now. It's not that free roaming asset that it was before. It's essentially controlled by Wall Street at this point, in my opinion, right? People can oppose that, but when you have people like Mr. Saylor and everybody creating these reserves and putting it on the treasury, it's the big boys buying it up these days, Shreve.
You're not wrong, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, institutions have been definitely working their way into it. But what we've seen, Joey, and you know, and you and I have talked a lot about this, is the over-leveraged nature of some of the products that's being given by some of these brokerages, especially the crypto-centric brokerages like your coins and some others. It's really creating and feeding into the volatility because of the forced liquidations. They're so over-leveraged, Joey, a small drop in price. So I do see that side of it. I think, and I'm not saying, you know, you remove those products and then you remove volatility. I wouldn't be so, you know, cut and dry in my opinion about that. But I do definitely think that, you know, we need some sort of regulation in there with respect to the leverage.
What was the one that you were telling us, like 20 times?
100 to 1, apparently some people were saying. I saw 20 to 1. I read about 20 to 1 with a Coinbase specific product, but the boys in the chat were
at some point that needs to be subdued. Like, you shouldn't be able to leverage your system. Like I said, what happens if the thing drops 5%?
Well, exactly.
It's all your money is gone at the end of the day. That doesn't make too much sense. Philip S. says, trust Satoshi with your money. I mean, listen, in the long run, I think that it is up into the right, but when it's near term, I'm falling into the realm of, like, again, I'm in the position right now. I've owned it in the long term, but it's own it, don't necessarily trade it. So if you're going to grab some, just slowly allocate it into your portfolio. Don't go 5 contracts deep in essentially chop like I'm currently doing. So it's a lesson learned. I'm not saying that the trade's done. We have until May. But are we going to hold it until then? Absolutely not. If we break 100, I'll be well out, and I'll be more than accepting of the multiple thousands of dollars loss that I'm probably going to take if that's the case.
Clearly, yeah. Right. I mean, we'd have to be. You have to be ready for that kind of stuff. Some people are saying, hey, Binance has some crazy different products. Yeah, look, I haven't been on Binance. Are they still blocked in Ontario?
Yeah. Is it only in Ontario, or is it Canada-wide?
No, because we have provincial regulatory
It's the OSC
bodies.
that was.
Exactly.
The OSC that wasn't.
Yeah, I personally haven't seen what the Binance products are, but from what you guys are reporting, I have nothing, no reason to question you guys. Okay, a couple of trades. Let's get down to WKEY. I'm involved in this one. We wet the beak there on the break through, I think it was 18s. We got the print. I'm looking for continuation here. Look, I've got a plan for this one. I'm going to add into 1475 for another higher low. To me, it's just, it's looking like possibly a flat top break through 15.25. You know, whether we get it on this attempt or we have to make another area low and then try it again. then we'll see. So I got 10s on. We've wet the beak. Let's see what happens with this one. Also, still holding SLGB. It's holding the 10 EMA and it's holding above $0.25, but we're not exactly rocketing up, and the spread is a little bit sus on this one. So trade it a little carefully. But I want to mention the one that Casey, 526, shout out to Casey, pointed out, PUMP. I mean, like, can you get a better ticker for a small cap gapper? And I don't even know if it's technically a small cap gapper. I'll have to look at the market cap, but pump. Big pop-up pump is a $1 billion market cap after this 37% move, and look at the respect that it has for the trend. But I have to digress here for a second, because WKEY looks like it's breaking out. There it is, 1520. Showing up. We're getting some orders printed here. The bid's moving up. The ask is not. Looking for more here. Still seller at 20. Look at that seller at 20. Can't shake him, but the bid is really tightening up. It was as low as 05s. Now it's 18s. So could we see a move here through 20? Still looking. I'm seeing 22s come in on the ask, but the sell comes in aggressively at that 20 penny area. But I did see 22s on the time and sales on the left side of your screen. So looking for continuation here on WKEY. Maybe not forthcoming quite yet. We'll pack our patience. But to go back to pump, shout out to Casey, because look, this one was making moves in the pre-market, but it really started getting the volume to support the move right at the 9:30 mark. It had an aggressive move yesterday in the aftermarket and the close as well. So it was one that I guess the market was alive to. Anyway, 1020 high. It's up 37%. For the most part, it's been respectful of the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. We'll see if, it holds trend or what the situation is. Trying to hold above 10 for now. Here are the levels. VWAP is at 9 2/3. The 10 EMA a little bit above 4/5, and then you see where the 10 EMA is at basically $10. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on now. I could certainly be persuaded to get into big pop-up pump over here. But for the moment, Joey, we're keeping an eye on WKEY because we just took out some more orders and we only have one unfilled. So let's go ahead and post some at the third of $1. And then we also want to post some in the high 40s as well. There's the $0.25 now showing up. 24s there on the ask. We need a little bit higher, man. Come on, let's go, WKEY. Let's take out those sellers. Let's get into the high of the day. What do you got?
All right.
There it is, Joey.
What is it?
We take out some levels. 29s now showing up. Let's go, WKEY. And as soon as Bovin comes in, the bid starts moving up. So shout out to the OG Bovin. Talking about SLNH. Sorry, Joey, I got to look at this one.
Yeah,
as
go
well.
ahead, man.
I apologize. SLNH, shout out to the OG Bovin. Okay. Not bad, Bovin, but you know exactly what I'm going to say immediately, which is, where's the volume at?
Ooh.
The volume at, well, it's not bad, Joey. 6.25 million shares. You think we would look a little bit better.
Okay.
Over here, maybe because that's the 15. Yeah, Bovin, this is not bad at all, brother. This is not a bad looker at all, Bovin. Shout out to you, brother. This one's earned its way onto the side chart. We're going to keep an eye on this one.
Oh, nice call out there, Gorev. On Apple, that's what we want to look for there, man. That's prime time. Hopefully you put a little size on that one. I think there's a lot of conviction behind that. Obviously keep an eye on the volume profile, considering we're starting to stair step down, but really, really good eye. I wish I had seen that a little bit earlier. I would have taken a long on that, but we're still short a little bit of Tesla. BHP, says Jameson. Let's take it. Actually, no, I don't know, Jameson. You said Bitcoin 98K, and I didn't like that, so I don't know if I'm going to look at BHP for you. No, I'm obviously joking. No, I'm obviously joking, man. That's just how I am. I'm really rich. Yeah, I wish, man.
Get him, Donald.
Get him, Donald. But no, BHP Group. I'm not too familiar with this name, but what really matters is the daily steady climb to the top side. That is what we want to see.
Bro, by the way, that T-shirt idea you gave me, brilliant. On my walk, there's one down the road right here. I didn't make the connection.
Yeah, I told you. There's one right there.
Perfect, Joey. I'm hitting that right after the show. No, we're gonna go after the show.
Okay, yeah. So
5 minutes, I got myself a costume.
Yeah.
And I can do hats as well.
Hats?
Yeah, because that hat that I want to bring in is going to come in November. I don't understand why.
We just make our own. Go straight to the source, man.
Straight to the
I think it's going to get one more dip than rip, man. All right, no, I appreciate the honesty, and I'm obviously joking with you, brother. I know you're in the chat daily and OG in there.
Get it.
But yeah, as for BHP, nice steady uptrend here. That's something that you want to be able to identify. That's look, as soon as you get the touches right at the lower end of the trend, bam, that's a good time to add a little bit, I believe. And then if it cracks, then you know what, you can get out and get right back in later. So yeah, there is BHP. Good call out, brother. Let's see what Tesla's been up to. I like that pick up on AAPL. And obviously, you have to keep your eyes on NVDA throughout the intraday session. Considering, did I think that we were going to go all the way up to 210? Absolutely not. 212 roughly is that high. This is a big time move, man. Exciting stuff. Gap up. So that's a little blue ocean trading that you can get involved with. 204, and then you open the market up at 206. So a couple points there. And I was looking at it last night. Were you guys trading any blue ocean on NVDA last night? I hope so, because that's when you want to get involved with some of these names. What's my costume? A baker? Why? Because I'm consistently baking up solid trades, or what? I don't know.
This guy.
Yeah, I don't know why else I would be a baker. No, I have no idea.
Maybe you like
obviously,
food.
it's somewhat of
well,
a
it's
jab
your
there.
affinity for food, of course, Joey, right?
Oh, the pie. I get it. Yo, stop. Don't say that trade with Rob.
What happened?
Don't say that, brother.
Oh, no. You angry, Joey?
It's getting smoked. Oh, no.
Bitcoin's getting smoked?
Yeah, absolutely lit up, man. Dang. Yeah.
Why am I laughing? I'm involved.
Yeah, I mean, I was, but
Joey, I got to interrupt.
Go ahead.
WKEY is at the high of the day. It's taking out all my orders. Get it, WKEY. Here now, we're going to post at 49s, and then we're going to post at 55s. Let me see how many shares we have so we don't look stupid and then have Joey making fun of us. All right, here we go. So 1546 high a day, Joey. Now we're going to post in the 60s as well. 45 showing up right now. So we're 1 penny off said high of day. Looking for continuation here. Get it to New York Cents. I know you're involved in this one, man. So shout out to you, brother, because I know you were trying to get me involved, and I was packing my patience. I like the chart pattern, but we definitely needed a little bit more. So WKEY Joseph options right back into the high, showing 47s. That's another high of the day. We don't get a print. It's going to have to cross that 50 penny threshold for us to get said print. So we'll pack said patience there. Wow, this one's really starting to move a little bit. Let's see if we can get a spike above 50. I think that would be a nice little move. There's 49. That's another high. 50. That's another high there. Good move here on WKEY. 24.25%. Looking for that move past 1550. Separately, I got into Big Papa Pump. Shout out, Casey. Shout out to KC526, man. She's always doing the most in a great way. And now we got, what do we got on 9s? Just took out some 14s there, so packing the patience on that one. And then last, but, well, I don't know if it's certainly not least. We'll see, depending on the price action here. We got another fill there at the volume weighted average price on SLGB. What do we have on here? 23s, show me 31s, but the spread is prohibitively wide, 11 pennies on a $3 name. As a result, we're not getting any prints, so we're looking for a hold of VWAP here on SLGB. Uh-oh.
He's not in
Where
there.
is it?
Oh, there he is.
Shout out to Big Smile. Sharif. Oh, hold on.
Yeah. Good
Okay,
idea.
all right. A nice blue shirt. Yeah, Assassino wanted to check it. Thank you, Assassino. A nice blue shirt, a shaved head, some skin whitening. Let's just cut the crap, okay? $1 million smile, and you could present as the big one for Halloween, brother. Right, I would be very, very, very proud to dress up as yourself as Halloween, but alas, we're gonna go with the other costume that we're not gonna disclose quite yet. So we gotta make everybody wait for that one, Joey. But shout out to Big Spile Burdette, always hilarious, and I love the sense of humor, brother. And don't change. Certainly don't change. All right. Oh, you're bullying Classy Wayne?
Did you see
Classy Wayne is upset, man. He says don't bully him, Joey.
Did you read the whole thing?
No.
Yeah, well, it's what you showed me this morning. Read it.
Where is it?
You can see it there.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Why do you say that?
I have no idea.
That's weird. All right, Joey.
Go ahead.
All right, WKEY into another high of day. There it goes again, right up into 1560. That's a new area high. We'll wet the beak there. We're looking for the cross because it's still a wide spread. 57s, there's the print. Looking for more. Let's post. We still got shares on WKEY, so you know now we're waiting at 69er. Let's see if we can get that big move up. on WKEY quickly. Let's go back and see what SLGB is doing. It's disappointing me. That's what it's doing, which is okay. And Pump is coming back down. Not you, Big Papa Pump. Big Papa Pump's going to have to hold up that 10 EMA. Otherwise, we're going to have no smoke with Big Papa Pump here, Joey.
Scott Steiner, eh? All right, I'm seeing a little bit of a solid print here on AMD. I just think that the bottom, the knife catching on today's session is going to be a little bit more difficult. So I'll wait for a pullback. I can post up at 259s as we're starting to come in a little bit here. So let's do that. We'll go 259 flats. We're going to post up, small size. Nice session so far today for us. Again, we'll go 4 for 4 as for names trading today. I mean, it's not going to be the reality of it. We had a solid session yesterday as well too. But there it goes, AMD. I'll show you guys where I am posting up, so you can see. And see if it comes into play. If it doesn't, then by all means, I won't complain whatsoever. Holding up that 5-minute candle, solid indecision print. VZ reporting as well. That's starting to sell aggressively. You can see right in the pre-market, bang. Get that move 625, and then you get that move all the way up to 41 bucks. Obviously 39 to 41, not too bad, but no continuation within the trend. That sucks. Come on, do something.
That's no good.
Yeah, that is no good, my friend. But there it is on AMD, posted up there, and we're still holding on to some Tesla, TSLL. I like that NVDA is like 116 bucks now, so it's not too bad off there. You're not finding anything to rock to the upside. I mean, that's good, man. To be honest with you, patience is key, I think, today. Let's see what happens with the overall market, what Jerome Powell says. A dovish pivot, some QE, everything along those lines. Hopefully that will move some momentum into.
I think he makes some comments on the employment market.
Yeah, he's worried about that.
I was reading an article that says it's like a net zero employment situation where not, net layoffs. I know there's layoffs from big tech. We've been talking about it, but no aggressive layoffs, relatively speaking, but no really aggressive hires either. So it's kind of just
okay, so let's do this here, Shreve. You're Jerome Powell.
Yes, sir.
All right. We're starting to see some upticks in inflation. Inflation. Yeah, inflation's starting to cool, to pick up as well. But the unemployment rate is starting to rise as well. What are you doing?
I'm cutting rates.
You're cutting rates. 25 or 50?
25.
25.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, I don't feel there's a panic. The market's at all-time highs. How can we justify a 50 basis point cut?
Yeah.
That's insane 100%. To me. I mean, obviously.
But the market's not the economy, though, Shreve.
It's not the economy. Yeah. So there's a dual mandate. There's price stability. We've got CPI lower than expectations, whether what you make of the data, because the government's closed, blah, blah, blah. And we just finished talking about employment. And I don't want to say it's good. I don't want to say it's bad either. It's kind of at an equilibrium.
What's going on north of the border here? Considering we've been in QE significantly longer than what the United States is, but we're continuously seeing upticks in unemployment.
Yeah, especially with youth unemployment. But I think that we have that issue north and south of the border. I don't think we have an outlandish employment report when it comes to non-youth employment. It's the youth that's really scary. It's about 16%.
Oh, now it's 16%. But I mean, 7.1% unemployment is pretty high.
It is. It's always been relatively higher than the United States. That's always been a fact. But they haven't seen this kind of thing since the great GFC and the years following the GFC. They're saying youth unemployment hasn't been this high since 2010. And I remember those days very clearly. Let me give you a piece of data.
In 2010?
So so I graduated in 2009. You have to apply for articling positions, which is like in the States, it's like your internship, right, for law. And you have to apply a year ahead. Just give you an example. Some of the Bay Street firms, let's just take Stikeman Elliott, for example. The year before the GFC, they hired 75 articling students, which means that you probably have to interview 200, 300 to hire 75. Guess how much they hired the year of GFC? 15.
Oh, really?
15. So we've seen this issue before where it hits the youth right away, and then there's a corollary effect everywhere, right? So we'll see.
I mean, we talked about it before. The kids, the jobs that we had as kids just aren't there anymore. So that's just how it is. I worked at fast food restaurants and Walmart in my teenage years, but that's definitely not the case these days. So,
no, man. Some people are having trouble getting those jobs, dude. Like it's quite crazy. Anyway, all right, guys. WKEY. At the high of the day again, man, right back into 15, 16, showing me 59s right now. We're posted north of 60, so let's see what comes of this one. I didn't take anything at a big pop of pump, and it looks generally here, Casey, that it held the 10 EMA on the 5. It's not at the day's high, of course, but I'm keeping my eye on that one. Separately, though, we give back the good trade on SLGB because it broke down below the volume-weighted average price, so the market giveth, and the market certainly enjoys taking it away. At least it does for me anyway. So this one does break down, holds 3, but it's below VWAP and of no longer of any interest to me. So I'm going to keep my eye on some other things. And some of those are...
Oh, snap.
SLNH, shout out to the OG Bovin, big pullback there. But most notably, it comes back into the 10 EMA, holds the 10 EMA on a 2-candle basis. Then this 5-minute candle is the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. Let's see if we can get and stay above that 3.25. Maybe we can make another move into 3.5. It's up 11 1/3%. And Joby, the dude, Viking, chill, bro. I got it. Joby's breaking out. All right. It's got a headline yesterday with Nvidia. It's going to be the exclusive user of Nvidia's autonomous flying. I'll give you the exact headline later of what it's called, but 1735 is where it's trading at. It's taking out yesterday's after-market high at 7.25. So great move here up for Joby Aviation, but just keep in mind that this is coming from some levels. So we still have a downward trend. Whether or not it's a nice move up on the day, there's still that downward trend to keep in mind of on Joby. This is a name, full disclosure, that I'm involved in the swing account. And we'll have to see how this one goes. But right now, trading at the high of the day, but still within that sort of lower high pattern that we've been putting in on the daily. All right, Joey, anything to add before we send it over?
I'm in AMD. We took a little bit off there, guys, as it came back in. Again, 259, caught that fill. I wasn't even paying attention. We got that 50-cent print that I was looking for, and I'm like, oh no! So we have to take a little bit less than that.
50.
Again, I'm not that heavy. If we do break 259.50, we'll take a little bit more off, and then most definitely leading into this resistance zone. Let's see if we can get this pop in advanced micro devices.
All right, hold on, Joey.
Yep.
We got Cody VRs. Thank you for the $5 super chat.
I'm really rich.
Anything on SLS earnings? So let's have a look there. Here's the SLS chart. That's the daily life sciences. So that is SELLAS Life Sciences, late-stage clinical biopharma company. Just looking on the blotter. Nothing that I'm seeing quite yet from earnings, brother. The last thing that I have on this from my blotters on the 27th. Otherwise, it's a name on today. Let's just look over here. SLS. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything, brother, quite frankly. So I'm not really sure when it reports earnings. I can take a look on my platform, but right now I don't have that information forthcoming. I do apologize. Get back for you when we do get back from Adara and Neil's lesson of the day.
I looked into that SELLAS Life Sciences earnings. Looks like the estimate there for when that is going to drop is going to be November 11th. But as far as I can tell, it's not confirmed, and it's not on their website either under investor relations. But again, SLS looks like tentatively, potentially November 11th. Let's take a look here at the S&P 500, which is pushing into day's lows ahead of the FOMC meeting. Again, Fed Chair Jerome Powell and team widely expected to cut rates by 25 basis points, but the last two meetings have had at least one dissenting vote each. So keep an eye here on the comment. It could still be a little bit rocky within that Fed room. Let's talk about Nvidia NVDA. Had a stellar day yesterday and an even better one today, being the first company in history to cross that $5 trillion market cap threshold. So great look for Nvidia. Right now, though, certainly below day's highs and all-time highs as well, around that 212 level. And we have to talk about earnings tonight. There are a ton of companies reporting earnings tonight, including 3 Mag 7s, Google, Microsoft, and Meta. You can get infographics like this for Meta and Microsoft as well on X and TTV Research. And stay tuned for more similar visuals on Amazon and Apple ahead of those companies' reports tomorrow night. Now, before we send you back to the guys, we'll take a moment to thank our friends at Oragenics, OGEN. Each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., but there's still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Oragenics, OGEN, is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. Now, with the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Oragenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more. Schedule a meeting today. Back to you. Make sure to like, and subscribe. And actually, Neil, we'll go over to Neil and his lesson of the day. Neil, take it away.
Thanks, Adara. Today, lesson of the day, do not throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's how the saying goes. I mean, I don't know, it's kind of a really silly saying, like it's kind of morbid, all that kind of stuff. But you know, the way I look at that for trading is, let's say you have something that you're looking for, which is a normal setup, and then it just absolutely doesn't work for you, or most oftentimes like your execution is poor on it. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you my executions on Intel today. We don't have that feature up where you could see all of our executions for like the prior week. But suffice to say, I believe I was 9 times short into this, and 2 were at best flat. I mean, slightly up, but at best flat, and then the rest of them were losers. Made up for with some other stuff to be able to get back to flat on the day. But it was the most heavily traded in terms of the amount of shares I took, the amount of times that I traded the stock. So, you know, had to do some work to try to get it back. But the reversion on Intel eventually did work out. I didn't even have that good one, but it eventually did work out. And ultimately, shorting some of the pops post-earning and doing that pullback into VWAP is still a strategy I like. So it's easy enough to say, well, just don't trade the stock that you lost on yesterday, or just go the other way. Like when you get stopped out, just go the other way and like, join along or whatever, or join that party. But to me, that's throwing away the baby with the bathwater. If it's something that usually makes money for you, or something that usually you get a better read on, then your real job is to just be better. Try to take the trade, but more disciplined, better entries, win, lose, or draw. And I'll make the argument today, like I don't think it was perfect today on Intel, but it was just about trying to be better on the next available up move. And that's what it did give me. One thing, if you went back and looked at yesterday when I gave you the lesson, is I was short multiple times, but just all sort of over the place. Today, I sort of set my sights on one thing looking clear, which was showing me an actual top that we could respect and making sure that I'm transacting because it's working at that level. I'll end up going 2 for 3 on the stock and trying to hold on to some right now, but it was just about being a little bit more precise. I do want to mean revert it still. I do want to fade it if it's not breaking a prior high. But I also am going to be cognizant of the fact that let's make sure that I'm not just all over the place on the up move, but I'm trying to get in, if I'm giving it to this 42 area, you're trying to get in as close as I can on the way down in front of that level and not chasing moves down here and not chasing moves in here, trying to make everything work. So when you're going over your strategies that work or don't work, you've got to remember, just because you were red on something doesn't mean that the overall setup was bad. It might have just meant you weren't precise enough with your entry. And if you were really, really patient, and maybe only having 1 or 2 shots and then grabbing something like this, and then that level works again, I could have been 2 for 4. I could have been like, maybe this one doesn't work out, maybe that doesn't work out, and then you grab a couple there. Could have been 2 for 4 and had a really good up day on Intel, but I wasn't. So I come in the next day, and if a similar thing sets up, I'm just a little bit better with the executions, because that's what it comes down to. You know, how you execute. Let's look at Nvidia today. Whoops, I just went to NVDL. How you execute on Nvidia matters. Now, ultimately, I could have had a 3rd winning long on this trade on Nvidia. Grabbed it. I wasn't trading breakout. I was trading dip buy, so the first available dip into the prior high. Not really that good, but trust me when I tell you I'm missing some data. VWAP was up here, so that's where the volume weighted average price was. So waited for VWAP. 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th time wasn't a charm. Now, I could have won on that 4th trade, but it's about being precise. If I go long here, I'm holding it over $1 against me when the resistance was right around 211. I don't like that. So even if that 4th one wins, I just don't like it. So we're precise about it, get some scalping in, eventually hold better. But when it broke down and starts losing this, no reload, no try to grab it at VWAP, it looks distinctly different. So again, just trying to be a little bit more precise. I'd rather have a bunch of trades that are quality setups where I'm winning more than I'm losing and I'm avoiding those big hits when they do come. But it does require you, again, to be a little bit more precise sometimes with entries and exits. And the best way to be precise is to look at a day in which you were not, and when you're going over it, say, okay, well, where are the points where I was trading that it didn't make sense and where were the ones that it did. And when the next day comes and it looks even remotely similar at the same levels, just try to throw out the ones that were bad executions. It's that simple. Lots of people don't like going over their losing trades, but going over your losing trades is more valuable than going over your winning trades. That's just how it is. And you can get more precise by going over those losing trades. So there's your lesson of the day. We got fed today, so I'm going to enjoy this not that good looking chicken for my lunch and try to be a little bit quiet going into the Fed day. But that doesn't mean there aren't opportunities, and I know the boys will be able to find them for you. So back to Sharif and Joe.
Thank you very much, Neil. All right, keeping an eye here on SLNH because I think it might be changing its tune. Nice first 5-minute candle to make a new high. Let's see if it's decisive. It's got another 30 seconds to a minute to close. 30 seconds. I'm trying to decide if I should be getting in here on SLNH. It was quite a good hold off the 10 EMA at the high, so we have to give it to 20. It's already not even letting me in. Well, how wide's the spread here? I'm posting at 27s, bro. I mean, give me the fill, you little punk.
Ooh.
Oh, what's going on over here, Joey? There we go. Now we get the fill. Okay. All right. So SLNH changing its tune. Let's see if it's got more juice to the high side over here. I'm posted at 33s. The high of the day is 42, so it's not exactly like a rocket ship that we can, say, okay, we're going to retrace back into the highs. The highs are only about 20 pennies from here, a little bit less. Hinsey, $2 Canadian. Love it. What do you think about Shop going into earnings? Man, a lot of people are talking about Shop as the next company like to disrupt the e-commerce of Amazon. I'll believe it when I see it, obviously, but it's been pretty good, I think, lately for Shop. Let's see where it's at. I think, is this this is post-split all-time highs? We took out COVID era highs. So remember when this one did a 10-to-1 split and everyone was like, what the hell are they doing? Splitting, when they give him back 84%. I mean, remember that in November of 2021 when the word transitory or not transitory was used and then the market tanked. And then they did end up doing their 10-to-1 split when they had given back, as I mentioned, like 84%. But look at what they've done since that time, since the split. Yes, we are at all-time highs, so you got to love it. I like the technicals. Now, if it does pull back, I'd be looking, 160 area is a very interesting area. You had a lot of chop and churn in and around there. But the 50 EMA as well should be definitely kept. You should have a view to the 50 EMA right around that 120 mark. I like Shop. What do you think about Shop, Joey?
Shopify?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Shopify, man. Let's pull it up here.
Okay.
Shopify. I remember my buddy was a really early investor in this, and it's like, oh man, I sold way too early, but how can you deny this? I mean, I personally never use Shopify. I don't know who does, but 160% off of those April lows, you can't really complain. Intraday, we don't really trade it too often. It's not overly expensive either. But you can see that we run into liquidity issues here, guys. I think that's really important to note. So, yeah, a nice short signal right there, but gap up. And if we head over to the lower time frames, you're going to see that there. Obviously, that's tough to trade. Like this is a bad blue ocean day essentially right here. It's just boom, 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 lots of gap up, algo trading, et cetera, et cetera. So should I get out of my AMD short, says John? It looks like it's continuation of downtrend. I mean, if you've been short, then I mean, there's nothing wrong with locking in a little bit of profits, man. That's just the nature of the beast. So keep an eye out on that. Oh, I hate looking at this stuff. So I don't know. I'm curious. Do you guys feel this? So I was in Amazon a while ago. I get out. It was a half decent trade. But then I'm like, man, I want to get in something because during the weekend, I'm like, yo, I don't have that sense of worry in the back of my head. And I don't know. It's some form of like drug that gets you going. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let's grab some Bitcoin. 5 days of trading to the top side. And I had a feeling we would fill this gap, but head south of that, I wasn't suspecting that. So again, I was in way too early and they're just biting me right now. So the leverage products, I'm going to stop talking about it after this point just because it's frustrating me, even though I have a game plan. It's just like, why is it performing so much poorly than the rest of the market? When the market's climbing higher, it doesn't do anything, but when the market tanks, it sells more aggressively, and it's just something I can't wrap my head around, and maybe I should stop trying to do so because it'll drive you nuts at the end of the day. That's the last time I talk about it for the rest of the session. Now, as for AMD, by the way, I'm down substantial amount of money now, considering it's bleeding. That's it. AMD, I think we're going to take a second attempt on it. So we'll look at that. Bloom Energy was one of my primary names on the day. And I didn't take the trade. What a beauty, bro. Yeah, but it's been phenomenal, man. So I'm waiting for an additional VWAP hold. As you can see that we're holding up right now. 130, excuse me, 135 would be ideal. But that's $2 away from where we're currently trading. What's the spread on this thing? Oh, that is ugly. Yeah, UGLY, 20 cents, 22 cents. I know Adara might like that, but you have to post up on that one. When they cry, sell, and they cheer, easy. But when they cry, I don't know what that means there. Same for the bad trades. I trim them in similar fashion, says a lot of people. They know your trading pattern. Yeah, apparently they do, which is somewhat comical. But Bloom Energy, not too bad of a look. AMD putting in an additional print. We took that scalp. We were out of that real quick. As soon as the tape didn't flip in my favor, I'm like, all right, let's just get out of this. We'll take a small win on it. But regardless, I think this is going to be a good opportunity. The trend is still to the downside, so the pullbacks are going to be probably micro and not that deep. Keep that into consideration. I didn't grab off those lows, but 257.45, and you're already up $2 off of that level. That's a pretty good look. This might just be an additional fake out here, but regardless of what it is, we took that long and then we just got out break even as soon as that lower high was established, and we didn't punch through 259.75. So QQQ hammer on the 15, says my guy Pathic. Yeah, it's on the 5-minute as well too. Good look there, brother. Let's take a look at the 15-minute for you to see if we're going to get a bounce in this overall market. A couple hours, a little bit less until we get that FOMC meeting and the rate cut potentially. Head over to the daily on TQs. Yep, that's not what I wanted to do, was the 15, sorry. Yeah, I mean, but there's still a little bit of selling pressure in there. You got to keep that in mind. That might say, hey, sellers are still engaged. You might get that pop to the next resistance zone. After that, be cautious of what's going on. There goes Bloom Energy. So there was a good opportunity to get involved in this one there, Sharif, on that VWAP hold at 135.40.
All right, Joey. I want to talk about Dinkelberg's comments. He's like, Sharif, any thoughts on rumors Carney will drop the Chinese EV tariffs? So he was actually asked about this very specifically by a reporter. So, and he said, look, it's not just as easy, Joey, just to say, okay, look, you take off canola or whatever new tariffs that they put on the Saskatchewan farmers. I think it was canola or something else.
Yeah, yeah.
And we take off the 100% tariffs on EVs. It's not that easy. The reason is there's so many different nuances. Number one, he's going to piss off the Americans if he does that, okay?
Yep.
Because the Americans don't want Chinese EVs decimating their companies. That's one. Two, the unions here, the Canadian Auto Workers Union, will flip if he does that, okay? Because that's going to take a lot of jobs away, because let's cut the crap, man. These Chinese EVs are really good, and they're also really well priced. So I don't think we can compete with them quite yet, to be honest, on a option for option kind of toe-to-toe kind of situation. So yeah, sure, Carney wants to kind of boost trade with China. He made that very, very clearly. It's going to be a strategic relationship. He's moving away from his predecessor's move, which is to, you know, kind of shun away from centralized capitalist systems and, you know. But I don't think he's going to be able to do that because the politics involved are just so great. Now, what we could see is maybe not 100% EV tariffs, but something a little bit lower, a 50, a 40. You know, just so that you can make the MSRP, the starting price, more in line and more competitive with what we got domestically, right? Because if they come in, they're just going to decimate our what's it called? Our auto sector. Not like it's already getting decimated. Let's bring up another point here, which is a lot of the jobs are going south of the border. You're seeing Stellantis shift some production from Brampton to the south. You're seeing GM do that as well. So it's not like we're not already in trouble when it comes to EVs and comes to the auto industry and sector.
Yeah.
And so he might even hurt it more.
So, yeah, I mean, it's stuck in between a rock and a hard place, I think.
For sure, bro. I mean, he wants to get the trade deal done with China so he doesn't have to rely as much on the United States for trade. But at the same time, he can't do that for two reasons. He's going to aggravate the Americans and he's going to aggravate the local unions. So it's sort of a really tightrope that he has to kind of walk there. Jake, I respect your opinion, brother. I mean, it's not really about his character. We're just talking about, the politics of what he has in front of him. But I respect your opinion. I don't agree with you. But yeah, Ichiro. I'm not sure some of these Chinese automakers' margins might be very thin selling in North America due to our regulations. You're absolutely right, brother. And before the 100% EV tariffs were put in by former President Biden and Justin Trudeau, they weren't here anyway. So it's not like, they were in a rush to come here. But they had very, very specific intentions before. They wanted to get their domestic market sort of buying these things before they moved internationally. And that's something that I always looked at when I was holding Li Auto. I'm like, why the hell is Li Auto not selling these cars in Europe in other jurisdictions? And that was just one of their goals. They wanted to develop their domestic market before they went elsewhere. And then once they saturated their domestic market or became too competitive because all the price cuts, then they looked, to greener pastures, so to speak, first starting with Europe and then looking for other places as well. They're all over the Middle East, I might add. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just we'll have to wait and see, Joe. But it's one of those things that I think that is going to be super interesting if we do get these Chinese EVs in North America. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, guys. And now for some exciting news out of Canada for the sophisticated traders on the stream. Beta Pro by Global X Canada, Canada's largest provider of leveraged inverse and inverse leveraged ETFs, has just launched 6 new triple leveraged ETFs offering 3x bull and 3x bear exposure to the S&P and TSX 60, semiconductors, and on U.S. Treasuries. Even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st, 2025. That's coming soon, guys. Plus, the U.S.-focused strategies use currency hedging, offering the potential for pure performance and exposure. If you're a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca 3x daily to learn more now, guys. So go and check that one out there. Tesla on the 1 minute, a lot going on. I'm so happy that you took that trade there, Gaurav, man. That's a big-time move. And double indecision print is absolutely beautiful, man. Taking a word from Obi. He's got me saying that a lot. Absolutely beautiful. But no, it's a really good look, and that's a really good trade. That's ideal on what you want. Again, way to hammer that one, and hopefully you take that home and maximize that profit as much as possible. I'm not feeling too good today, Mr. Stark, says BTC. Oh, I get it. You're saying what Spider-Man said to Tony Stark there. Bang, bang. I get that one. Yeah, I know. It's not, brother. It's definitely not. All right, 10 to see Hunters. Watching the World Series, there have been some angles where I see you and George Springer having some resemblances. That's crazy. Someone said that.
A little bit.
Some people said that. Yeah,
a little bit. I can see that, yeah.
But I don't know, man. No, I don't think so. but...
Gill's got the jersey right
You know what's
there.
funny though? I look at Springer's head top. He's thinning up there as well.
Thinning, yeah. No, you got way more coverage.
I got more coverage.
You got way more coverage.
I got a little bit more coverage in there, but I know. Okay, let me read Adam James's thing before he says it. Adam, you're starting to fall in the realm of big spile. We got to read what you say first. I know. And some more crosswalks this side. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, that's why we gotta read them a bit more. Again, I'm not gonna comment on it, but I think you know where I stand there, brother. It's a bad idea to buy Nvidia 350 call that expires in 30 days. Dumb question. Yeah, no question is dumb. First of all, is it a bad idea? Probably. Because it ain't hitting 350. If it does, that's insane. It'll be the most insane move ever, probably in the stock market. If it goes to $350 in 30 days, that's not the case. I don't even think it's probably worth nothing. Like, why not? Let's take a look at that here. 30 days, it's going to be worth nothing. So essentially, it's a lottery ticket at the end of the day, Sharif. Again, I'm just never mind this, I'm not talking about it. NVDA, let's get over to that 30 days, and that is going to put us around November 28th. And how much is that 350?
How much?
It's 8 cents. So it's going to cost you $8. Okay. You know what I mean? If you want to buy a lottery ticket, you may as well buy that 350
there you go.
NVDA call that expires on November 28th for $8. Plus, obviously, fees, which is going to cost you around $3. So $11 for that lottery ticket there. Let's see if that comes into play. If you want to have fun with it, that's the max you can lose as well, too, is $11. Well, I mean, $8 is the max you can lose. You already paid for the fees. So if it appreciates and goes up to $250, then maybe you'll make a couple dollars off of that one, Sharif.
All right, shout out to Casey. Thank you, Casey, for the $10 super chat. Casey 526, always doing it. QH, thanks. So here's the deal. QH is, well, yeah, it's something the bed. It's a word I don't want to use right now, and then the word bed after. And it's no good because it's down 66 1/3%. And this is, yeah, someone's getting the hell out of there. Double bottom at 150, reclaiming the 10 EMA and the VWAP and the volume weighted average price on the 5-minute chart, 290, just south though of that $3 area. I like the double bottom, Casey, and the break of the neckline right there. Did this halt? Why was there no price action there? Let me look at that. Let me go to the one. Yeah, it did halt. It halted it several times. Okay, so it's an umpteen amount of halts on the way down, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the way up now. So not a bad look, Casey, for the double bottom. I like that, but I just don't know how much we retrace back. Let's use some Fibonacci's. I'm kidding, of course. Fibonacci's. Let's see exactly what we get there. Well, we're not even back at 74.6, so that comes into 3. So interesting, maybe resistance at 3, and if we really got going, 61.8 is at $4. So I'll keep an eye on it. Not really my cup of tea though. Taking these ones that are selling off aggressively north, but yeah, good call out, Casey. We'll keep an eye out on that. But I know you're looking at this, Casey. I know because you called it to me. Shout out to Casey for big Papa Pump. Just got into another high of the day at 10:30. We wet the beak there up into 27 as it goes. It's up 40.5%. We've layered the orders now through that 10 1/3 all the way up to 40s. Let's see if we can ride trend back on big Papa Pump over here. WKEY. It's coming back into my area, Joey. Got 15-15s. We scalped out nicely. We added aggressively on the pull back into the 20, but guess what? That 20 didn't hold, and we're right back at the 20. I am concerned because this feels, you know, if it loses 15, that's some trouble. I'm going to pack my patience on this one. We're still above the 20. That's where this one's been finding support. Let me show you what I mean here on the black charts. So look at that yellow line. We held it on a 3-candle basis, 1050, 1055, 11. We did it again here on a 1-candle basis at 1130, and then here we are again touching the 20. So we'll see how this cookie ends up crumbling. I'm going to keep my eye on it. Now, a new one I got in. I told you guys I'd get into WETH if it ended up taking out area highs, and it did. Where's my WETH trade? There it goes. So it ended up taking out some levels here at 55, and that triggered me to get long. It's dropping back into 55. It rejected 60. No prints on this. It's showing me 59 on the bid. I've got, on this one, I've got 58s. So we're break even on it right now. I want to see if this one's going to run. I'm going to pack my patience on this one as well. We'll see if we can get a nice move up on WETH, up 17 2/3, Joey.
All right, good stuff. Whenever you're ready there, Assassino, we can rock and roll. All right, brother. For too long, trading meant risking your own money or never having enough to start. The fear of losing, that's what's kept so many traders on the sidelines. But that's changing. Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access the markets. With its limited risk trading model, traders are funded capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside.
Oh.
This allows traders to focus on what truly matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. When you hit the profit target, you keep 70% of the profits. No fear, no barriers, just real opportunity. This is the revolution of limited risk trading, powered by Trade the Pool. Visit tradertv.live or scan the QR code now to get 10% off your first evaluation. There it is. Yeah, I mean, the reload op was there on IBIT, guys. So is this hesitation nation a little bit? We could have posted up at 259s once again. Tesla holding up pretty good. So is that starting to form somewhat of a bottom, considering we gave up the majority of yesterday's move? Monday was fantastic. It's Wednesday today. So just two nice, solid sessions back to back, and now you're starting to cool off. But that 457.55 is holding up pretty good. You guys see what anyways, I think it's going to be a really, really bad idea on what I just did, Trapman and Pistone and Gore. But regardless of that, man, that it is what it is. Okay, so yeah, AMD 259 all the way back up to 260.40. And then BE as well, that's continuing to climb, breaking through a potential short signal that I was looking at earlier, but this name is just too strong to give up any of its move. Here it is in the post-market yesterday earnings report. I messaged Sharif, I'm like, man, 230, 235, and then I look a couple minutes later, it's up to 240. I'm like, wow, that is absolutely amazing. So not too bad of a look on BE, and that VWAP hold was beautiful. One more thing, Ashkeed Ahmed, could you please discuss the earnings speculation? Ashkeed, I can't, bro, I'm saying it wrong. Ashik maybe. Ahmed, could you please discuss the earning speculation of Meta and Google? Yeah, we're going to go over the expected moves here momentarily, guys. Adara, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I just want to make everybody aware here. Microsoft and Amazon Web Services, I'm seeing both of them here. Reportedly, some user issues, specifically in the U.S. Microsoft, I've been seeing this probably since about 12 p.m., so it's been going on for about half an hour as far as I can tell. Now we have just over 20,000 users in the U.S. reporting issues with Azure, according to Down Detector. Amazon Web Services, the last count I was seeing was just over 10K, so relatively minor, but just be aware, it looks like there are some service issues with both Azure and Amazon Web Services right now, guys. Back to you.
Shout out to you, Bovin SDA. Bovin calling SDA. He's like, look, bro, it's about to touch that high of the day. I know, Bovin, but this thing is like $2.50. It's only done 1.25 million shares. I know that I complain about volume a lot, but yeah, this is not a bad look, Bovin. Look, if it loses a 50 penny area, I'm out. Simple as that. So we're going long. Good call up, Bovin. If it loses 50 pennies, we're gone Zeno. And that's the situation. But let's cut the crap, Joey. Here we go again on WKEY as this one moves back into the mid-30s. What do we got on, man? We got 15s on, so we definitely looking for continuation back into 1560, but it's been a hard road to hoe over here. We've been holding up at the 20s, but what I see is a lot of lower highs, and I don't think we're breaking the trend quite yet on WKEY when it comes to the lower high situation. So I'm trying to take some out here in case it turns on me. And that is always a concern with these bad boys when they're not making higher highs. So we'll keep an eye out on that. But big pop-up pump has no such problem. What a move up. Again, into another high of the day, 1035. We went the beak at 33. We're now posted at 37s, and that seems to be the last order that we've got. So let's go ahead and throw some at 43s. See if we can get anything up there. Shout out to Big Papa Pump. Let's see how our SDA trade is doing. Shout out to the OG Bovin. Nothing quite yet there, Bovin. We're going to post a north of that as well, since we've got some on into 67s. Jameson saying TMDX. Let's have a look at TMDX. Oh, yeah, it's really expensive though, Jameson. Jeez Louise, it's a $4 2/3 billion market cap. Transmedics, medical technology company. Great move up on the day. It's up 5%. It's just certainly not for me because I don't trade these very expensive names. We're definitely gonna look for something a little bit cheaper. So, but thank you for that call out, Jameson. It's not a bad look. I don't mean to say anything bad about it, but it's just it's not for me. Keeping an eye here on WTH, WKEY, and Big Papa Pump taking out more orders there, man, into another area high on the pumpsters. We're looking for more, man. We're posted up now at 43s. There's 40. Big Papa Pump's moving here. Seller at 40. Can we get a little bit higher? We're looking for 43s here on Pump. So We'll see what this one gives us. Quickly back to WETH, rejecting 60, but not really breaking down. Those are the only things that I've got at the moment, Joey. It looks like, you know, SDA zigging and zagging over here, but it's really WKEY that I've got a lot of shares on. I am kind of concerned that this one's still putting in a lot of lower highs. So I think my stint with WKEY could be short-lived here if it drops back down into the mid-teens. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give it to prior bar low. So prior bar low is the hammer candle at 1225. If it breaks 1509, that's the end of the trade. We have 15s on. That gives me a good out. So we're going to go ahead and wait down there, Joey.
Nice.
And if it breaks down below that, we're out. Simple as that.
Nice. 2-year visa. Hold on now.
Yeah, it's okay. I can keep looking over here.
Are you talking to me?
Looks. Oh, what's going on? Oh boy. It's algo time, man.
Yes, it is. You guys know what time it is here, guys. Boom. Hell yeah. Vamos, says my guy HPM. Yeah, in all seriousness, one of my buddies just did that. He lived in the UK. Where he was born in the UK, and then sure enough, he sold everything and moved to Mexico and got his residency there. So yeah, shout out to him. I won't mention his name or anything along those lines. He's there now. He's just living his best life. So
Nice.
shout out. Yeah, I don't even, to be honest with you, he's always doing something new online, and just somehow is just always printing cash. I'm like, how? I don't get it, but
Look who was at the Dodgers game yesterday.
yeah. I mean, obviously they would be there. Dua Lipa.
Yeah, of course,
Nice
you could
one,
tell.
James Bond. Yeah. I mean, there it is, guys. So yeah, anyways, back to bites to bucks here, guys. Pick that up. I seen that signal here on ETHA to see if it did, and sure enough, we got involved there not too long ago. So not too horrible. What is I don't think the performance over the month hasn't been fantastic, to be honest with you. So September 27th. 20-something to what we are now. September 23rd, a month ago, picking up some good things there. So
You're in. Stop, brother. You're going to get blocked.
who is that?
First and last warning here in Patel. Stop, brother, or you're going to get blocked. So
Yeah, I mean, okay, you got to pull it up there. Oh, you already got it. 300 seconds.
yeah.
Oh, it's just like
Fabian,
that.
you know, he has a
Man.
short fuse, bro. You can't
Right
get
away,
Fabian
man.
upset.
There's straight.
Right away.
Like, if you do that, you type the same thing 4 times.
Fabian wasn't
Come
having that.
on.
Fabian
Get out
wasn't
of here
having
with that one. No, but in all seriousness, guys, bites to bucks. Not too bad of a look. I don't see any other signals that have picked up today. I thought it would have grabbed this one on the TQs, but didn't meet the criteria, specific reasons. Let's pull up my watch list on the side here so we can go over a couple of the names there, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
See what we got going on. It didn't grab anything on Apple, but I'm going to make a secondary one that I think will pick that up. Again, so boom, not too bad. On AAPL, October 27th, it picked one up. That was yesterday.
Okay.
Bang! Okay, there we go. That's a good one right there, Katina, man. We like that. Trade analysis. What's that?
Katina Bear's like, I just got back, man. Stop dragging me into this, bro.
Yeah, it's all right. He's got his lunch and everything. Sorry, Sheree, we're going to go over a couple more names here.
You're good, brother.
TSM, we'll just ramble on here for a little bit. We're going to, let's go. Picked up, today's the 29th. What world am I living in? There it goes. Picked up on TSM right at the peak there yesterday as well, too. Locking in some gnarly, I'm not going to hit it. Yeah, some gnarly signals on that one there. Boom. So back-to-back days on TSM. Good stuff, Adara. What do you got for us?
Just be aware here, I'm continuing to see some user issues with regards to some of these platforms in the US. I already mentioned Azure and Amazon Web Services, so Microsoft and Amazon's platforms. We already had some issues reported, roughly 10,000 reports there for AMZN, and then roughly 20,000 for Azure with Microsoft. Now I'm seeing apparently Google having some user issues as well, though I'm not seeing a quantity, but either way, Google now joining Amazon and Azure with having users report some issues using them again in the US, according to Down Detector. Back to you.
Yeah, that's awfully suspicious. The fact that all three are down.
All three what?
Cloud platform.
Oh, yeah.
All three?
Yeah.
What do they share in common other than maybe the broadband provider?
Yeah. Do you think we got a little hackery?
I'm just saying it could be a possibility until we get more information. Sure.
Suspicious.
But like the fact that all three are down?
That's wild, man. It's definitely
DNS.
hack related for sure, in my opinion.
Okay. What would be hilarious, says Trendy's Hunter. I like the name, by the way. What would be hilarious if Microsoft and Google warn they are down because AWS is down? Ah, man, that's jokes, bro. Can talk about circularity. You think Nvidia's business model is circular? That if that ended up being true, that would be the ultimate circular business model. But no, I doubt that there's anything like that. We'll have to wait and see, obviously. Who knows, man? Who knows why they're down? We'll get more information, and obviously as soon as we have it, we'll share it with you guys. All right, guys, there looks to be a seller here now that I've been watching WKEY for a while at 35, is that we can't seem to shake. And we haven't been able to shake them since we lost 35 pennies at 12.10. It's almost 12.40. So that staunchy little bugger has been preventing me from getting my next print at 35, and I've been waiting at 35 for a hot minute. So let's continue to watch, see what this one has to offer in terms of upside moves. I'm talking about WKEY. I am concerned about the lower highs that have been unbroken since the candle that we put in at 1150. It is a bit of an issue, obviously, but I have my in at 15.15, and I've given it to the low of the candle at 12.25, which is 15.09. I've given it to below that level. So if it holds there, great. If it doesn't, well, then we're going to get back a little bit. Shout out to Big Papa Pump. Ooh. Casey, this is pulling back into the 10 EMA, and we've seen what Big Papa Pump has done when it pulls back into the 10 EMA on the day. And if you don't know, allow me to show you. So this is PUMP over here, and it's been quite in love with that 10 EMA every time they seem to meet. Okay, I should probably not draw that comparison, but anyway, PUMP, every time it drops back into the 10, it pops back up, and here it is at the 10. Now, the 10 on a closing basis, because you can see what happened here at 11:30, dropped into the 10, ended up closing above it, but it did wick below it into the 20. So I'm going to be interested here to add. Maybe I'll put in my dip trades in between the 10 and the 20 for the money fills. So I'm going to put a dip trade at 10.10. I'm long 10.09, so that's fine with me. Let's go ahead and put in an order at 10.10 to go long for a little bit more. If it drops back into that area, I'd like to pick up some more. Otherwise, we'll get out. Looking here. Oh, it's really moving here. Just keeping an eye here on pump. Keeping an eye as well on WETH, looking for this one. Look, it held up. It held up. So we're still holding at 58. It's showing me 58, but it's got that seller at 60. I'd like for this one to take out the seller at 60, move into 66 at the high of the day, but it's not forthcoming at the moment. What else do we have over here? That's really all I've got. I've got those three on. WKEY's coming back in again. What a disaster this one is. It feels like it's going to lose the bid, but I'm going to hold on to it until it does. Because I really have, my entry is so close to where we're trading right now, where my out is. So I think I'm going to pack my patience on that one.
Wow, AMD.
Any other ones you've got for me, guys? Tag me in the chat. Bovin, I tried SDA, but it ended up losing trend, so I got stopped out of SDA. It broke below the 10, and it's, putting in a bunch of lower highs. It's a little illiquid as well for a $2 name. But SDA did not treat me well, so we're not going to get back into that one. The other one that I've had on here all day and I haven't taken any trades on is AXGN. Look how respectful this one has been of the trend. And now it's knocking the door of 23 bucks. It's not a big 26 3/4, but a respectable trend in any event. AXGN, the ticker there. That's all I've got, Joey. What do you got?
All right, man. Mr. Cerberus, he asked us very kindly to answer his super chat, and we're sorry that we missed it. But there goes AMD. That reload opportunity was most definitely there. Nice 3-point climb from off of those lows. All right, Mr. C, can you explain disallowed loss, please? My account is up 12K, but I have a disallowed loss of like 20K. Is this just tax implications and adjusted cost basis, or will I have to pay that disallowed loss?
I'm assuming disallowed loss when it comes to taxes, so that it can't be claimed against capital gains. Okay. So it's a non-allowable capital loss.
Okay.
I don't know. Is that the case?
I have no idea. Maybe the vets over there would know a little bit about it. But
yeah, to me, a loss, of course, you have two different ways you can have a loss. You can have a business expense as a loss, which is offset against income. You can have a capital loss, which is offset against capital gains.
Okay.
Which one?
Okay.
Get him
Yeah.
a tag.
I have no idea.
Ask who is it that asked, Joey?
Mr. C, Mr. Subarus.
Yeah, tag us, Mr. C, man. Let us know exactly what's going on, and we'll answer, of course. So, yeah, sorry to interrupt there.
Look at the work going on behind us there.
Yeah, guys, look at the screen coming up, man.
Yeah, that's big
Mark's
time.
doing it live.
He's doing it
Is
live.
it Trader TV sitting there? That's fantastic.
Is that who it is?
I don't know. It looks like it is.
It looks
yeah.
like it.
Is that
How
me
come none of
crying?
you-
That's not my hair, though. I don't have that
I don't
kind
know
of hair.
who these
I don't have brown
individuals
hair
are.
either. What?
That's not Neil in the middle, is it?
Well, the dude behind Mark's got a stash, so I mean, there's no other guy in this place with a stash except myself. So I don't know. Like,
All right.
Oh, that's not a stash. That's his mouth. He's crying. Oh boy.
No. Is that a stash?
Get it, Ram. Did you make that, Ram? Did you make it? Oh no.
Who's the guy with the curly hair?
That's your hair there, though,
Well,
right? Isn't
I'm
that your
thinking
hair?
so.
there?
It's slowly coming up.
Maybe is that Brendo on the right there?
Oh, yeah,
Is
I
that
guess that's
Brendo?
Brendo
Oh,
on
that's
the-
Brendo on the
Who's-
right. He's got two phones on because Brendo's constantly
He's
busy.
on the phone.
Right? Okay. So that's Joey.
Who's that person there?
That's you, bro.
Is it? Why am I crying?
You're crying up a storm.
I bit. Oh,
Because of
man.
IBIT. Because of
that's
IBIT. Oh,
crazy,
no. Oh,
man.
no. Joey.
Damn. Oh,
Oh,
man,
my
getting
God.
done dirty
I
around
absolutely
here.
love this. This is fantastic.
As an
stuff,
energy
guys.
drink
Fantastic stuff. Shout out.
Oh.
All right, guys. WKEY is losing the bid. Thankfully, we put the stop right there. Look at the drop on WKEY. Big boy drop all the way down into the 50. That's the first time it's actually been below the 20 cents. I want to say 10.50. This could be an interesting buy area here on WKEY. Let's keep an eye out on this one, Joey. What do you got?
Yeah, mad dirty, man. They're
What
really
happened,
doing me
Joey?
mad dirty, that's for sure.
That's
That's
okay.
it's all right. It's all fun and games. All right, guys, this bites the bucks around here at the end of the day. Go through a couple more names here. What's that? Oh, I'm still in TSL. Let's take a
that's
look at
crazy.
the trade that we maybe should be focusing on a little bit. Never mind what I got going on the side there. TSLL, pull it up for me. All right, I mean, we're nowhere close to our entry price. We're just holding on to something, nothing substantial whatsoever. A nice curl over off of the lows, but we're short TSLL from the break of the volume weighted average price, and then you get that nice move to the downside there. So still holding this one. Leading into FOMC, anything can happen. Maybe you get that pop through there. You're going to see that volatility spike come in, so just keep that in mind, guys. Yeah, I mean, the moment I realized, it's all fun and games around here. We get to poke fun at each other, but I know Ramin's in it as well too, so she should be crying as well. So yeah, I know. Oh, she's saying, Joe, toughen up. Stop being
Brendo's never yelling, though. Like, that's the thing. I don't see Brendo yelling ever.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that thing-
clearly he's yelling there.
Oh man, if this thing's ready by Friday, we might have to watch it here. I think it's looking like
Dude,
that.
the first thing that I asked Mark is like, Mark, can we watch the Super Bowl here?
Yeah.
And he's getting annoyed with me because I keep asking him, right? Like, I keep
about-
asking him about the speaker system.
why don't
I
we
mean,
watch-
if this is not a Super Bowl watch right here or a Game 7 watch,
It's literally a movie theater
it
screen.
is. Mark,
Yeah.
how big? What's the size? 9
9
meters
meters
by
by
4
4
meters.
meters.
Shout out to all my Americans. You guys can do the conversion
Yeah,
there. But
yeah,
yeah,
that's-
this is a big boy. And by the way, this desk right here, right where you guys see the metal, that's also going to be a screen. That's the new big desk,
my
right?
days. Yeah, there's a lot
fantastic
going
stuff,
on.
Joey.
And yeah,
Fantastic
maybe we
stuff.
get some World Series watching here. We should just have a watch party on that thing, man. That would be absolutely amazing. If it's Game 7.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen, if it's Game 7, I'm telling Brendo now, you may catch me in here watching it on Saturday. Alone, obviously I wouldn't be. But anyways, at
So
the
it's
end of the day,
27 by 12. Thank you, Ocean
Yeah,
Blue. 27 feet by 12
need the
feet.
American
That's the
terms.
size of the screen. And Brendo and I were asking for a TV. Just a TV behind the
Oh,
desk
that's all-
right
that's
there.
all you're asking for?
And no. That's what we asked for. This is what ended up happening over here. So
okay,
ask
I
for
see.
little, get a lot.
Well,
Right?
hey, we don't ask for much around here, Sharif. Bang, bang, bang. No, UFC on that thing. Imagine someone getting head kicked on that. That'd be
a
so
beauty, bro.
wicked, man.
That'd be a
All
beauty.
right, enough of the violence. Back into
okay.
some of the overall market and see what we got going on.
sir.
We'll go through a couple more names here because we're having a good time. Good day so far for, I think, Sharif, you're having a solid day today.
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm-
he's
not-
not. All right,
not
but
too
that's
bad.
all right. But I mean, hey, man, you got FOMC coming up. There's going to be a lot of time. Sean, Neil having pretty good sessions as well over there. Let's see what this Nah, actually, no, we're going to put that hot garbage in here. Let's go over to QBTS, see if we picked up anything on that front. No, nothing, just getting slacked. Let's see what the performance is on. It's still positive. That's not too bad. 50% accuracy. What is your profit factor? 1.54. That's really good. Let's go through some of the trades that I picked up and see if it's defining the signal that we're looking for. So let's get back into that, Jack. And head towards there. So, I mean, this isn't horrible. We'll take that one. Again, sometimes it picks up some false signals. Sometimes it picks up exactly what you want. I think that's just the nature of the beast. So that's September and that's October. So identical trades on that front. So 50% on QBTS. We'll go over one more before we send it over. All right. I don't think that DKNG will... okay, so DKNG, considering what we've experienced over the last little bit, I didn't think it would be performing that well. There's some big time losses, but let's head over to this to the trade analysis. I mean, you're shooting a okay, that's not right. That's percentage profitability. That's the difference. I want to win percentage there. Winning trade percent 1.5 there. So again, 18 trades, 7 of them are winning, 11 of them are losing. You take that all day, every day. Risk factor, profit factor isn't the best either. Performance still slightly red, but if you come to this unrealized, not too bad. Let's see what it picked up on today's session. All right. It's today entry to, and it's still currently open. Okay, so it's not going to close that until either a stop. But I mean, once that triggers, you have the ability to manage it on your own as well too. Always take that into consideration. If you want to just close it out before the end of the day, you can do so, or you hold it and eventually get stopped out, break even. Sorry, one more streak.
Yeah, do your thing, brother. You're good.
Considering we're having so much fun over here, just running through some things. Would it pick up on October 14th? Not too bad of a look either. That's a couple of weeks ago, right out of the gate, and then you hit that 2-to-1. Let's see what the performance is like on this. Not too bad. Go back to the analysis. 50% right there. Profit factor at 1.12. So there it is. TAC 9. Listen, just the way the narrative, everything's going. TAC 9090. We're going to have to put you in a little bit of time out there, my friend. Well, and I'm generous. I am kind. Remember that? You get 10 minutes. That's not too bad. Everyone can survive 10 minutes. So good luck, everyone, says Katina Man. Hoping someone gets that joke. I didn't see what you said, Adara. Give a little to S-Bucks and CMG earnings tonight.
Do you remember when he was still the Chipotle CEO, Brian Niccol, current CEO of Starbucks, he did this weird video because people were getting really mad because they were weighing the Chipotle bowls and they were like, the math is not mathing, you're doing this randomly. So he said, if you guys want more, you can just give a little, just give a little, and they'll give you more. And I'm like, why is this an answer? But yeah, that's my go-to Chipotle Brian Niccol joke now.
All right, cool. All right, we like that. I find Chipotle's been a little stingy these days. So you know what? Hey, man, if we ask for a little bit of rice, it shouldn't be like pulling teeth now, should it, Sharif?
No, absolutely not, Joey. All right. Keeping an eye here on WKEY, but I want to bring your attention to a new one. Shout out to Bovin, WVE. Look at this breakout. Aggressive. I don't know how this didn't show up on my scanner earlier, Bovin. 19.25%, taking out nines, 906 high. Very clean uptrend, especially the support that it's had at the 10 EMA on the 5. Let's keep an eye out on this one. WVE is what I'm going to keep my eye on there, but there goes WKEY. Right up into a bunch of my exits over here on WKEY. We got 80s on. We just took out 95s, looking for more above that $15 area. We're posted at 95s. It probably behooves us to post as well north of 95. So we're going to go ahead and wait at 15.05 for a profit taker there. And then I'm going to layer my orders. I see resistance at the 15 1/5. 15 1/4. Look at that long area of consolidation that we generally held. So if we move back into that area, I'm expecting some initial resistance. So I'd like to de-risk in the move in anticipation of a rejection of that level. So I'm going to post here at 15s for some more outs there on WKEY. Just to quickly, before we go to Adara at the big desk, WVE is going, guys. It's taking out highs. Now it's up over 20%, 1914 high. Good call out, Bovin, Adara.
Yeah, just take a look here at MSFT. I've been mentioning here this outage that's happening. Azure has addressed it. They said they've taken actions they're expecting to address the portal access issues shortly. So they've taken actions. Looks like they're expecting these actions to make a difference shortly at some point in the future. If there's anything else, I'll let you know. Not a ton of details coming here from MSFT, but at least they have acknowledged this Azure outage and issue here. Again, MSFT with that Azure issue. Apparently, the company has addressed the issue. I'm not seeing any word from Amazon Web Services or Google, which, as I mentioned earlier, are also having issues. Back to you.
Based on the bid, not on the ask. So it'll show you your P&L based on where the bid is, not the ask.
Unrealized you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah,
you noticed that, eh? Yeah. It's interesting. Because like when something's super spready, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's like 10-2, well, more than 10-2. So let's start the news. Shout out to Dr. Sh. Hold on, let me maximize this. Dr. Shuttle and Dr. Shuttle Show. $5. Thank you. Keep it up, he says. Appreciate you, Dr. Shuttle. For dropping cash in the chat. We appreciate you, my man, but no tagged comment or anything like that. So nothing report on there. Big Papa Pump is right into the day's high again, guys. It's showing 41. I tried to get the ad. I didn't get the money fill. It came pretty close. I had my order at 10s. I got into 12. So that's kind of just the cost of doing business. But Big Papa Pump is heading up 42%. Let's start I was going to say the lesson of the day, but that's been a hot minute, Joey. Let's start the news over here as we get a lot closer to, of course, the FOMC meeting. But all eyes yesterday and today, man, have been on this monster here, Assassino. They know it by the ticker NVDA, and now it is worth over $5 trillion on the AI mania that we heard about yesterday with the umpteen amount of collaborations and associations that NVIDIA is making with different Fortune 500 companies. Just a second, I have to digress. Go WKEY, go, man. Up into 1515. Good look there. Big Papa Pump also into the high of the day. 1446. I think we're waiting at 48. Good look for Big Papa Pump. But this is the first company we're talking about, NVIDIA, to surpass $5 trillion in market value. It's nearly up 50% year to date. In fact, it's up 54% year to date. With CEO Jensen Huang announcing that NVIDIA is now expecting over $500 billion worth of AI chip orders. The company also plans to do many different things. Among them is build 7 new supercomputers for the U.S. government. They revealed as well, Joey, that $1 billion strategic investment in Nokia, forming a partnership to develop, the 6G network technology. But I want to show something here, Joseph. And this is not a non-exhaustive list, but I want to show you something over here, okay? So this is the amount of different collaborations that they announced yesterday. I made a little bit of a form there. And this is not even exhaustive because the AI forgot to add Joby. I had to add Joby in there. Nokia, T-Mobile, Uber, Palantir, the Department of Energy, Samsung, Hyundai, Cisco, Mitra, I don't even know how to say this, ODZ, Booz Allen and Hamilton, Dell, IBM, HPE, NetApp, Alphabet, through Google and DeepMind, Disney Research, not the Disney you think. An umpteen amount of quantum names there. General Motors, Belden, Caterpillar, Foxconn, Lucid, Toyota. Have you heard of a company called TSMC? Joby Aviation, Wistron. All these companies are going to be using NVIDIA's technology in one form or another, whether, specified devices like Joby is using for, autonomous aviation, or whether you're talking about building out your run-of-the-mill data center, or what Nokia is doing, building out 6G. It's a who's who, Joseph, of companies that are partnering with the world's most valuable company.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What else do you say about all this partnership?
I don't know. What do you say?
Bubbles expand? Is it getting a little bit overdone? I don't know.
Fair.
Again, at the end of the day, none of this AI boom is really happening without Jensen and company. But at what point is it overextended? All these partnerships are a fantastic thing. There are orders and everything along those lines. But you've seen the pop in the stocks. What are we like? I get it. What are we pricing in in the long term I think it can get a little bit dangerous. Go with the flow until otherwise. The higher we climb, obviously, I think at some point the harder you can fall. Is that going to be the case with these hyperscalers continuously spending all this cash and the partnerships coming out of the wazoo, essentially? You got OpenAI every other day. Some of these big names are teaming up with other individuals and creating these business partnerships. At some point, I think it's going to cool off. But until then, just keep going with the flow.
All right, Adara, what do you make of these umpteen amount of different announcements we heard yesterday with Nvidia and other companies?
I will say I was kept incredibly busy. Every 2 minutes, Jensen Huang would name a company, and I'd think, well, there's no way the stock's going to move on it. And then I pull it up, and the stock's moving on it. I feel like Caterpillar was one that I certainly wasn't expecting to move, let alone with volume. And then it gets a nice little pop. So I have to commend Jensen Huang. He put on a very, very entertaining keynote speech. And I think the other thing, too, as well, with the supercomputers, right? We had AMD with their 2 supercomputers through that Department of Energy deal. Now Nvidia is saying, hey, hold my beer. We're going to announce the 7 supercomputer deal with the Department of Energy. And I think, too, it's worth noting companies that benefit from this beyond just Nvidia, right? All of the companies mentioned, of course, get recognition from being mentioned by Jensen Huang and also with these Nvidia deals. And they also, as well, in the case of, for example, HPE, the more we get these supercomputer deals, the more something like HPE is going to benefit because they were implicated in both the AMD and Nvidia supercomputer deals, right? So I think being aware, this is a great story for Nvidia, but it's also a great story for any company that currently benefits from AI or even could in the future benefit from AI. So I think it's very much a story of forward growth, and I want to see what Nvidia does next.
A WVE, guys, is really going here. 955 area high. What a call out, Bovin. Great call out, dude. I would caution, though, the $0.50 area could be a level of psychological resistance. This thing's been all gas, no brakes since it touched the 10 EMA and the 5 at 12:35. So it's been half an hour here with no red candles. This one's forming into a topping tail, so be careful. I'm talking about WVE. Sorry, I know, Joseph, you wanted to cover something.
Yeah, I did. I just noticed, aside from that, I noticed I have 3 hands in that picture there. Yeah, did you see that?
It's obviously AI.
Yeah, it's AI, bro. It's AI, bro. I got 3 hands.
I like it, Joey. I like it.
No, serious. Okay, so Control Alt Escape says, pardon me? I have extra fingers. Okay, so I don't know. Says so. Control Alt Escape says I don't know. NVDA seems too big to fail. There'll always be other buyers for their chips. The AI rice isn't going anywhere, and I'm not saying that it's going anywhere. I don't think it is. Is it too big to fail? I think so. But look what happened when we got that DeepSeek news. The stock tanked. I'm not saying that's going to be the same case with NVDA or anything's going to happen, but what if something along those lines comes out where somebody says, hey, we can do what NVDA is doing at a fraction of the price? Then what's going to happen to the name? What's going to happen to the stock? We've already experienced it. So I think you want to have that in the back of your mind. You don't want to let it kind of cloud your judgment on owning it. But I think it's warranted to think of something along those lines.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there's umpteen amount of examples we can draw about companies that had completely like defensible moats.
A stranglehold on the market, essentially, right?
Look, you're never going to catch me shorting this thing.
No, ever.
I'm not going to be shorting it. But at the same time, I'm not going to be adding to the position, and that's obviously probably going to hurt me in the short run because this thing's probably going to run up more. We could see 6-7 trillion maybe by the end of the year.
Oh, this thing's going to $250. There's no questioning that. There's no questioning that.
But it is what it is, dude. I'm not going to take a position against it, and I'm not adding
at all. And I'm not saying take a position against it, but at what point, like if things continue to just go on the runs that we currently are, the market will find something. And what if that something is like, hey, we found something that is equally as good and a little bit cheaper? I don't know. I'm just thinking.
What is this 6-7 thing that you guys keep saying? I know, that's what I'm saying.
I have no idea.
Ram, what are they saying this 6-7 thing for? You're like South Park. Oh.
Okay, but what about South Park?
That's what's his name? Getting from, I heard the kids are saying 6-7, but what is it in reference to?
What does it mean?
Yeah, it's so funny. Shout out to Rajin. Okay, All right, let's go on to the next story, Joey. We've talked about Nvidia enough. Caterpillar, what a move for Cat today. Another AI-related name, ironically enough, despite the fact that they make heavy industrial equipment. Let's talk about their earnings report before we get into the data center thing. Q3 EPS $4.95. It's actually down 4% from last year, but above analyst forecast by 9%. Revenue rose 9.5% on the top line to $17 2/3 billion, topping expectations by about $1 billion because the street was looking for 16.77. This marks the first year-over-year growth for Cat since 2020. They do face headwinds, though. What are those headwinds? Well, how about this one right here? A $400 to $500 million tariff cost in Q3. And if you think it was going to get better for them in Q4, think again, because now they're talking about a $650 to $800 million impact as a result of tariffs in Q4. That's the bad news. There's good news as well. They have a ridiculously large order backlog to the tune of $2.3 billion. That's the backlog. Sorry, their order backlog climbed by $2.3 billion up to $40 billion, $39.8 billion in order backlogs. That's how much demand they have for their equipment. They're guiding as well quite good. Their EPS $17.93, which is down 18% year over year as a result of tariffs, but their revenue expected to be modestly higher than in 2024. But the tariff headwinds are going to add 1.6 to 1.75 billion in costs for the full year. The number I gave you earlier was for the quarter. This is for the full year. Now let's talk about their AI and data center momentum, because that's the reason they're up so much. Power generation for data centers surged 19% in Q3, led by strong demand, of course, for reciprocating engines used in AI and cloud computing applications. The CEO, Joseph Creed, said their data centers are now a major new vertical for Cat's energy and transportation segment. The construction segment didn't do that well. It actually saw sales fall 7% and profits slip 29% as they really focus their majority of their energies on their data center and their energy play. Energy and transportation rose 7%, Joey, with profits up 4%. What do you make of this whole thing?
I mean, again, I said this from the get-go. I think this is a good sympathy play here. We're up 122%. There's a massive Cat distributor here in Vaughan as well, too, called Tormont. Again, none of the data centers get built. You need to excavate. You need to excavate. And I actually have my operator's license. I used to operate. I used to operate D6 dozers, like 320 Cats, everything along those lines. I like it, but none of this build out. It has to start somewhere. And that's when the picks hit the ground, the picks and shovels hit the ground. And I think it's going to start off with Caterpillar. I like Caterpillar up 122% since those April lows.
Since the April lows, insane.
Yeah.
At the intersection of science and crypto innovation, Silo Pharma, guys, trading on the Nasdaq under ticker SILO. They're rewriting the playbook. Their lead in drug SPC15 is advancing towards FDA submission, a potential first-in-class intranasal treatment for PTSD as well as anxiety, with data already showing very strong safety results. At the same time, they're also expanding their digital assets model. They're investing in Bitcoin, they're investing in Ethereum as well as Solana, while securing cutting-edge technology designed to strengthen and future-proof their crypto strategy. From lab to ledger, guys, Silo Pharma is where breakthrough science meets blockchain innovation. Shout out to Silo. All right, Adara, what do you make of Caterpillar's headlines here? We're seeing some weakness in some of their traditional business model, but it's being picked up and buoyed by the data center and the AI trade.
Yeah, the more I read about this report, the more vaguely concerning I find it. Like, I do not want to at all discount the fact that, of course, they have that data center data center power generation surging there by 19%. I think that's significant, and I think it is worth, obviously worth moving forward, trying to push things to where you want your company to go. But at the same time, I just think the extent of the slip there for the construction segment, like 29% profit drop, certainly not great. 7% sales decline, that's a little bit concerning. But I think, the fact that they're growing everywhere else makes me wonder, is their focus shifting? Is this going to be a little bit more of like a Tesla situation where we're not just a car company, we're a insert avenue here company, right? So I don't think Caterpillar is going to do that, but I do think it is worth noting the potential implications of this. Now, that being said, I think the other aspect of concern, regardless of what segment of the business you look at, is that full year forecast there for EPS. Revenue, at least, they're projected to be modestly higher, but yeah, I think a lot of this Caterpillar is going to be wait and see. I want to see what the entire year earnings ends up being, because there are some issues here that could be concerning going forward.
All right, guys, WETH taking out highs. Here we go. We're in at 68 right now. Good breakout for WTH. Now it's up about 20.75%. Look for continuation, I'd say, into 4 now that we're above that former $0.0002 resistance. I'm talking about the double top that we put in at 10.15 and 10.20. We cleared that area now with a 368 high, but just keep an eye out on that. Joey,
sorry, one thing,
big
what's up,
smile.
brother?
I remember when little Joey Small said Tesla 500, no doubt, and a little bet was won and welched on. Joey, Nvidia 165 before 250. He goes on to say, hit the Trump fake news on little Joey Smalls, claim he can run a D6. The men on the job probably let him sit in the seat and make vroom vroom noises. Oh my God. Bro, he's so funny, bro. I didn't mean to read it like that. I didn't even filter it, Joey. But the guy is hilarious, man. Shout out to Big Smile. Why are you so mean, Big Smile, bro?
It's my guy. It's my guy, man.
Yeah,
you can poke fun at me. We love it. I used to, yeah, I was more of an ex-operator than a dozer, but I'm versed in all of them. Yeah.
Do you need a special license for different ones?
Well, you don't need a license, but you can get one. Well, I mean,
like
forklift, if you're working in a plant and everything, you don't need a license. You can just operate.
You can just operate.
Yeah, but I have mine and everything.
There's different ones. Like there's a cherry picker one. There's a dozer. There's
you can get them all, man. Yeah, if I had my old wallet with me, I would show you all of those.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the bet is on there, Kyle. I think we hit 250 before 165 on NVDA.
Yeah, I'm not going to take that 165 bet unless there's a marked drop in the market.
Listen, Big Smiles, we're actually going to do this time. All right, we're going for a couple packs of Zins here. That's what the bet is. So if you win, I will get whatever it is to mail you that stuff. And you already know where we're located, so if NVDA
he knows exactly where we are,
if
Joey.
NVDA hits 250 before 165, I want 2 of probably the highest milligram packs that you can get delivered directly to this office.
All right, we got to go to Adara.
I just want to mention here, VST pushing a little bit lower. So I'm seeing the story circulating on X, and I'm seeing the tickers VST and BE, so Vistra and Bloom Energy, both being tagged here. It's a post from a company called Xtropic, which is an AI company, and they're saying they're actually launching AI energy efficient computation. Now, looks like potentially this could be viewed as a threat to these companies that work on data centers, specifically in the utilities kind of power space like Vistra and BE. If I get more details in this story, I'll let you know. But either way, VST did get a little bit of a volume increase here as we got this news and a bit of a move to the downside. Back to you.
Guys, sorry, Joey, pump is really going here, guys, and it continues to defend the 10 EMA, 1062 area high. You got another pullback on the previous 5-minute candle right into the 10, and then this candle really going, making another new area high. Keep your eye on Big Papa Pump. It's up 45%. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I don't have a certified. I did way back in the day, no, but in all seriousness, guys, here's this TSLL trade. I have nothing left, essentially. We already hit the shorts on multiple occasions for that individual who was asking. Now I was just letting this ride, coming back towards the volume-weighted average price. I can just hop out once it breaks. I have no issue with it going back to break even because there's, again, no size on there. And yeah, I'm glad that you guys are loving it. So yeah, there it is. And we're also long some IBIT. I don't know. I get it. Some people are saying, have some confidence in your trades. I just put this on to put it on. We're having an all right day. It's off of the lows. We're at the lower end of the range. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a pop heading into FOMC, Sharif. If that's the case, then hey, we're positioned relatively well. If it wants to tank, then we got some more game planning to do.
All right, guys, I'm seeing questions in the chat. FOMC meeting, 2 o'clock. That's when we get the rate decision as well as the prepared notes. And then Fed Chair Powell takes the mic as he typically does at 2:30, and then he takes questions from reporters. So we're going to be sending you to the big boys 15 minutes early. We're off at 1:45, and they're going to be taking it over from there. So let's go on to the next story. Joey, Nokia. I was talking to some of the algo boys. Some of them were taking this one north and south yesterday and making some good money on it. So Nokia surged over 40% yesterday following news of a strategic AI and 6G partnership with, you guessed it, NVDA. Pulling back a little bit today, down 5.25%. Do you know this thing's $40.5 billion market cap?
Yeah,
it's not a chump.
It's no chump,
it's still big, man. It's, you know, we don't see phones from it much anymore, but they've got other things. Specifically this. What they're developing, guys, in collaboration with one another is they're developing an AI-powered radio access network called AI RAN, as well as data center networking solutions. NVIDIA is also going to invest $1 billion into Nokia shares, acquiring about a little bit less than 3% of the company, 2.9 to be exact. It marks one of the largest U.S. tech partnerships in the European telecom sector in recent years. What's NVIDIA's role going to be here? Well, their role centers around the AI aerial platform. That's going to anchor the AI native wireless stack for future 6G networks. It's going to boost network automation. It's going to reduce latency, and it's going to provide AI-driven optimization. The deal looks promising, according to analysts. Looks promising at first sight, but analysts did warn that the medium-term revenue potentials remain quite uncertain, given the weak RAN market outlook over the next decade, and also will really depend on the global rollout of 6G. I mean, I was talking to Brendo about it. He's like, why do we even need 6G? I was talking about latency. So many different things that they want to do, Joey, that really have a lot to do with latency. It looks like 6G takes that to the next level. It's not just for gaming, that latency thing, but obviously for many other things.
Yeah, absolutely. Market latency is huge as well, obviously not correlated, but yeah, gaming is really important, guys. We were talking about this not too long ago. I mean, intraday, this is insane. I don't even know if this is a genuine move, but that wick it's essentially like, okay, boom. I don't even know what's going on here at the end of the day. That's a big time move. So just keep that in mind, guys. Things starting to cool off, and then you can see that come the market open. It does give a little bit of that back. We wanted to take a look at some of the options activity on this name to see what we are going on. 7.5 there. And I mean, the open interest was substantially larger than what we're experiencing right now at that specific level. $8, we still have 36,000 contracts open. But look at the gamma. It's starting to cool off a little bit. It was significantly higher yesterday. So I think that's important to note. As for Nokia and what they got going on, it's a tougher look on the daily, I believe. You have to consider what's going on and what the chart's telling you. Okay, I'm going to eat those words real quick, Sharif. Something was planned, because I mean, from August, $3.98, you're up over 100%.
Investigate everybody.
Yeah, well, somebody knows something. You're not going to convince me otherwise, as you would like to say. You're going to tell me that nobody doesn't know what's going on here. 108%. Look at that smooth curl over there.
It's a good
pretty good
bro.
look there.
All right, Adara, what do you make of the intersection kind of with six? Okay, she's not here. Let's go on to the next story. Eli Lilly expanding their ZEB-bound access via a Walmart partnership. So Eli Lilly did have its own catalyst yesterday with NVIDIA. They're going to use NVIDIA's Blackwell chip for research and try to develop drugs. But this headline, a little bit different. It's more of a retail look. So they announced a nationwide partnership to offer direct-to-consumer pricing for their ZEB-bound single-dose vials, and they're doing it through their direct-to-consumer push. Eli Lilly's direct-to-consumer push is called Lilly Direct, a little on the nose. It starts mid-November, and what they're going to do is the ZEB-bound vials will be available for pickup at the Walmart pharmacies across the U.S., but you're not getting them from the Walmart pharmacy price. You're getting them from Lilly Direct. You're just picking them up at Walmart. Lilly Direct's self-pay model is what's attractive here because they offer 50% or greater discounts versus the typical drug list price. We know that if you go through Hims & Hers, for example, it's like $5.99 or $6.99 a month. This, they're saying, the ZEB-bound single-dose vials are going to be available in all approved strengths with prices starting at $350 a month. So substantially less than what you typically pay with Hims and Hers subscription. So this could be very attractive. Number one, obviously for the price. Number two, with the convenience of being able to go into your local Walmart and pick this up. And let's just be very straightforward about this. These drugs are very much in vogue now, not just for weight loss and for diabetics, but for other off-label uses, which is growing in popularity. Lilly's direct-to-consumer expansion reflects, of course, the company's push to capture self-pay customers and mitigate insurance delays. So by virtue of the direct-to-consumer push here, you're going to need a prescription, but they're not going through your insurance. So you're going to be a direct paying customer, and they see that as more margin friendly. Joey, what do you make of this tie-up between Lilly and Walmart?
I think it's good, right? Like, they're starting to expand. What happens when the oral comes out, like, obviously less storage costs. I think that's really important to note as well, too. Eli Lilly, if you go over to Novo Nordisk, it's been absolutely getting slacked, so performing significantly better than what we got going on there. I think Adara has this in her Jimmy Carter picks as well, too. So, I mean, not too bad of a look. These pills have taken, I think, the world by storm, Sharif. They're a game changer in a lot of people's eyes, and I think they'll continue to do so. As you said, multiple different effects than just absolute weight loss.
Yeah, well said,
Joey. Absolute weight loss, I guess it is. Yeah.
All right, Adara, what do you make of this Lilly direct push and collaboration with Walmart?
I think it makes sense to collaborate with Walmart here. I like this move. I'm really curious to see what Eli Lilly does tomorrow with earnings. The stock price is at a pretty interesting place. And I mean, this company has done really well. Like Joe just mentioned, Novo. Lilly, I said this a couple times. I'll say it again here. I think Lilly versus Novo, to just do a head comparison for a second, Eli Lilly is very well positioned because the company's CEO, David Ricks, has a very good relationship with U.S. President Donald Trump. We know that Trump already said that he really likes Lilly and that he's very excited to make a drug pricing deal with Lilly, similar to deals that were made there with AstraZeneca and with Pfizer. So interesting look here for LLY, I think, with that, just to kind of zoom out for a bit. But I mean, to get back into this story, the 50% are graded discounts there for Lilly Direct. That's pretty solid. Be curious to see here, I guess, how well this partnership with Walmart is received. But I think it's a good idea and a good start.
One last question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, I mean, 50% decrease, what's that going to do for margins? I think that's something that we need to ask as well, too.
Well, absolutely. It's margin compressing, no question about it, because, well, think about it this way. You're cutting out the middleman.
Yeah.
So the middleman's margins are being removed.
Yeah,
so
that's fair. That's fair. Direct to...
I don't know what the margins on labeled pharmaceuticals are in the States, but in Canada, they're 15%. You can charge up to 15% at the pharmacy level for brand name drugs. You have an 8 to 10% cap on generics. I don't know what they are in the States, but that's the middleman. Now, one must assume that Hims probably taking a bigger margin than the local retail pharmacy. So if Hims is charging you $5.99 or $6.99, whatever it is, and then Lilly is charging you $3.50, you got to assume there's probably $100, $150, maybe a little bit more in margins for Hims.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I mean, I have no idea about their business model. But yeah, typically it is margin compressing.
Yeah,
by the way, it starts at $3.50. What it says was all different doses are going to be
there's tiers
available.
of it. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, as for margins, we can just ask Martin Shkreli on what the law is about that. Yeah.
I love it, bro. Bringing that up. Okay. All right, let's go on to the next story. Lucid unveiling their mind-off self-driving ambition. Underline that word, ambition. But it is quite ambitious, and let's talk about why. They announced plans to develop their mind-off self-driving technology, aiming to be the first automaker to offer true level 4 autonomy in a consumer vehicle. The system would allow occupants to watch TV or play games, talk on the cell phone, all while the car drives itself. Lucid intends to debut the feature on its upcoming mid-sized EV, later expanding to other models such as the Air and the Gravity. We don't even have their other EV, so this gives you an idea of how down the road this is. Interim CEO Mark Winterhoff said the launch will happen in the coming years, to use his words, but not before 2026. I wouldn't expect it that way anyway. Here's what the partnership with Nvidia is going to entail. Their autonomous driving system is going to be built on NVIDIA's Drive AV platform, and it's going to integrate with a multi-sensor suite. We're talking cameras, we're talking radar, we're talking LiDAR for full environmental awareness. That puts it at a completely different take than Tesla's camera system only. The decision to leverage NVIDIA's AI and sensor tech rather than build from scratch obviously reduces cost for Lucid, but eats into margins. NVIDIA is going to provide the computing and the AI framework, while Lucid engineers are going to handle the software integration and the driving logic. Joey, what is your look on LCID on the day?
As for Lucid, I mean, the partnerships are obviously racking up there. Car business is tough, man. It's the narrative. Again, do you want to be invested in this long term? Is this deal going to change the narrative of what's going on with the company? I don't know. The vehicles are very nice and everything along those lines, but it's just so tough. It's so extremely competitive. You have all the bigger names, BYD, and you got Tesla as well too. So for me, Lucid is going to be a no-go, Sharif.
All right, Adara, what do you make of Lucid taking a bit of a different take here than Tesla? They're using LiDAR, they're using radar, and they're quite ambitious, offering or wanting to be the first automaker to offer level 4.
I think Lucid getting into this space is a smart idea, you know, following in the footsteps of these type of companies, but doing it their own way. And I think this is certainly the time for robo-taxis. This is the time to kind of bring that up, to move in that direction. So we'll have to wait and see here what happens for the company going forward, but it is unfortunate to see what's happened with the stock. So this is around when Jensen Huang started talking about these robo-taxis near the end of his presentation yesterday. Lucid gets that pop, then it comes right back down. Then pre-market, we also get a pop here with Uber, and then it comes right back down. So I think, at least from a stock perspective, unfortunately, does not seem like LCID is too excited about this story. I think longer term, though, it does seem to be very exciting. And yeah, it's interesting, too, they still have an interim CEO. So I wonder, once they put in someone to stay in the company on a more permanent basis, what are this person's goals going to be? Are they still going to be focused on the robo-taxi? Going to be focused on more models? I kind of want to see what happens there. And I must, as always, give a mention to Timothy Chalamet, their spokesmodel. Maybe, I mean, as of right now, the stock has not had its Sydney Sweeney moment, a la Timothy Chalamet, but, you know, always have to bring that up for those who forget. Back to you.
Guys, WVE is taking out levels, man. 955 area high. Shout out to Bovin. We're involved in this one. We got 38s on, but it's having a whole bunch of trouble with the $0.50. I see, Casey, you're involved in it as well. Nice move up here for WVE. I just saw it print briefly there above the $0.50. Let's see if it's able to take that level decidedly. Keep your eye out on this one. I've got my stop through the break of the $0.25 area. Let's talk about Boeing. Joey, they reported earnings this morning. Let's get into some of the earnings information. So they returned to positive cash flow despite some headwinds. Specifically here, we're talking about the 777X setback. So they turned cash flow positive for the first time in nearly 2 years, really driven by their deliveries of the jet lines. And you'll understand why deliveries here are super important. They have delivered, I should say, 440 airplanes year to date, up from the 291 they delivered this time last year, the strongest output they've had since 2018. And cash here is at a premium for Boeing because they get the majority of their money once the plane is delivered. So being cash flow positive is basically directly correlated to deliveries. You don't get the money ahead of time. They reported, Joey, $4.78 billion Q3 net loss. It's about a negative $7.14 per share. Negative, which is narrower than the amount of money they lost last year on the quarter, $5.76 billion. On an adjusted basis, loss were about 747. That misses expectations. But revenue did jump, believe it or not, 30% year over year, a little bit more than $23.25 billion, which tops the analyst estimate of just shy of 22. So an easy beat there. Good top line growth, really reflecting the improving production stability and the steady aircraft demand for major airlines. They did take about a $5 billion charge, $4.9 billion, on its long delayed 777X program, which is kind of what I alluded to at the beginning. It remains uncertified by regulators, and it is years and years behind schedule. Despite all that, CEO Kelly Ortberg, he did warn that more work is needed, especially in the development and certification programs, so more work to do there. However, the good news is they are now producing more jets per month. We reported this to you earlier. They're up from 38 aircrafts per month, which was the maximum allowable by the FAA. Now they're up to 42. They also, Joey, the FAA, that is, granted Boeing the permission to perform the final aircraft inspection, a thing that they had the right to do, and it got taken away from them because of what happened with the door plug and all that kind of stuff. And now they've got it again. And they're saying the MAX 7, the MAX 10, the 777X all remain behind schedule.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's good. That last stage, I think, is really important, Sharif, obviously, to surpass your deliveries. We know that they have a substantial backlog as well, too. Guys, I'm sure Tesla, sorry to just, I reloaded on that. No, but in all seriousness, we talked about this before, is that they need to get that straight. Essentially, at the end of the day, they run a monopoly on the commercial airspace. I think they should be performing a little bit better. Now that they get the nod to just complete that final stage, I think that's extremely important, and it's a big-time benefit for the company, and that they got the approval to produce more of these airplanes is really good too. So hopefully they can start to dwindle that backlog that they have going on and get more and get more deliveries in the likes of China and everyone else who's put out those orders.
Well said, Joey. All right, Adara, what do you make of this backlog? I mean, there's a lot good. They can make more planes. They're getting cash. They're cash flow positive, but a lot of their main money makers still all behind schedule.
Well, in a way, Sharif and Joe, I was kind of just thinking about this, listening to you guys talk, and I think it's actually net positive for Boeing, even if Boeing's earnings were not net positive this quarter. And the reason I think this is because, you know, I'm going to use it the tortoise and the hare, right? Slow and steady wins the race. So why not just have Boeing, you know, make sure they take their time, make sure planes are not falling out of the sky or having door plugs fall off mid-flight. And I'm not trying to make light of the situation because it is scary, but I think why not, you know, make sure that things are going well with the company, things are going well with the planes before, you know, pushing out these planes. I think the backlog, once this starts getting fulfilled, should get really exciting for Boeing. So I think this might be a story of it'll take time to put everything in place, but once all of the pieces fall in, I think it should be a really good look for the company. That's at least my take anyway, and how it could potentially go. I do, once again, need to give CEO Kelly Ortberg his flowers. He's only been at the company just over a year, but he's done a really good job of righting the ship, or righting the plane, as it were, because Boeing does have a history of some very shady CEOs. And as I mentioned, as of right now, he is the only one to not resign in disgrace or, you know, be called the worst CEO in American history. So right now, I think if Kelly Ortberg continues to prioritize safety, Boeing should hopefully get some of its legacy back.
You can show the people.
I'd have to load my Instagram thing again. It's like the whole thing.
You don't want people to see
Guys,
that.
WVE, new high day, 960, pulling back into the mid-50s now, but the trend continues up into 57. Shout out to the OG Bovin for pointing this one up 26%. Let's go on to the next story. Bloom Energy is a freaking monster, man. Beautiful look here for Bloom. Let's talk about this, and then we'll talk about why it's rocketing up. Obviously, Q3 beat driven by AI growth. So they reported Q3 revenue, 519 million, a little bit more. That beat the expectations easily. The street was looking for $424 million. They printed 519, so almost $100 million beat right on that top line there. Adjusted EPS, 15 pennies. The street wanted 9, another clear beat there, so a beat on the top and bottom line. The company's product and service revenue, oh baby, rose 55.7% year over year, despite the total revenue falling, believe it or not, 57.1% year over year due to project timing differences. That's what the company is making the claim to. Let's talk about their AI power demand and their growth narrative. The company is benefiting from rising electricity demand driven by AI data centers and national energy priorities. We know that they become a substitute now for gas turbines, which are obviously polluting. Elon's using them in Memphis. People are complaining about them. Also, modular reactors, small modular reactors, the next wave of nuclear is going to take time to build out. So hydrogen, filling in the void in the interim. Joey, their financial position also pretty good. They ended up with about $600 million in total cash and cash equivalents, reinforcing their strong liquidity position for the scaling and the production. They need money, dude, to get this stuff out to market.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple of things we'll go over. I'll just touch on BE quick.
Do it.
Last night was absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, you're seeing a boost in some of the earnings report from this AI build-out, which is, I think, is extremely important. If you're looking for those secondary sympathy plays, I think that's definitely a space that you want to be in. We'll pull up BE real quick. Take a look at it from the technicals. It's been on a big-time run. Don't worry, George Battles. We'll go over it, and we'll go over all those super chats, and we'll take a look at what we got going on here as well, too. Wow, this is insane. Like, I mean, from those April,
it's next level
yeah,
stuff,
this
bro.
is next.
This is next level stuff.
Yeah,
it's
like,
beautiful.
There's you're almost at your 10 bagger right there. Wow, yeah, you're in the yeah, bro.
You know, we don't celebrate.
We don't celebrate. We don't celebrate. We celebrate that. No, seriousness. No, good look, man. That's a really great pickup, man. I would like to get involved in this as well, too. Kind of just broaden.
Shout out to your boy Money Mitch, man. He's look. I had Bloom Energy on my watch list since the pandemic.
Yeah,
it was like dollars. It was
from
single.
The demi, eh?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I swear, I had it under my clean energy watch list. But your boy Mitch brought it to us as a swing. It was trading at like 30-something, 20-something at the time. So shout out to Money Mitch, man.
Swing alert. All right, Sharif, let's go over some of these super chats that we missed
man.
here.
Let's go.
Also, Assassino screen. Reload on Tesla short, man. What a beautiful signal at the volume weighted average price. Bang, bang, bang. Wham, bam, right there. We're still long a little bit of IBIT. Why? I don't know. Just because we can risk a little bit of the realized on today's session. But that reload on Tesla looking really good. Full disclosure, I got all out here of my last little bit, and then I seen that inverted print right at VWAP, and I'm like, pop. All right, let's take that move. Okay, now George Battles. Greetings from California, guys. What's up, my California friend? I hope you're not a Dodgers fan. Why? Okay, Joe, can you please help me with
What's your problem?
She's talking to Neil and Sean.
I thought she was talking to us.
Smack. You were ready to.
Yeah.
You were ready to.
Calling us cheaters, Joey?
Yeah. You were ready to crash out.
Yeah, I know. We didn't know.
Shreve was ready to crash out real quick, man. All right. Help me with MSFT calls.
Yo, Esvin and Jesus and Cali Cat.
Yeah.
Y'all are going to get blocked if you keep cheering for the Dodgers. They're going to get blocked,
it's
Joey.
Like that, eh? Damn. All right. We're back to George Battles. Microsoft calls and puts. 560 call and 530 puts. Open interest. Thank you. Okay, yeah, we can take a look at that for you. No problem. That's easy work there. If you want a little bit of help on that. There goes Tesla. Bitcoin not doing too much, essentially at our break even right there, so not too bad. Let's pull up those contracts that you want us to take a look at. You didn't give me any expiration or anything along those lines, so we'll just do it how you do it on the Discovery Channel.
Bro, are you looking at options for BE?
No, for MSFT for our guy. Why? You want to see options for B?
It's fine.
Oh, okay. You want to go on the next story?
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I didn't know you were doing super chats. My bad.
No, yeah, I'm doing super chats right now. Okay. So November. Let's go a little bit out here just to see what we got. Going 560 calls on Microsoft. Those are going to be around $10 to $1,000 right there. So not too bad. We won't complain. $1,000, $10 there. $1,010. What's the delta? Gamma's really relatively light, so no gamma exposure. That's good. And then look at your at the money IV. So no implied volatility really being priced into that.
Just gloss over the gamma exposure thing, like gamma rays.
Gamma rays.
The Hulk.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Hulk, man. I get what you're saying. Yeah. I just don't really get what you're. It's all right. We're moving on here. So there's no real open interest. I get it, man. We tried. I mean, hey, man. Yeah.
Oh no, not the pie thing again.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
All right, Joey.
All right, yeah, 530. There's nothing really going on there. How much are you going to pay for those? Around $12.80. A little bit more expensive. $12.75, I guess you can say now. Yeah, that's it, man.
Okay, let's go to Adara for her take on Bloom Energy. Adara, this thing is a rocket ship. What are you making of all this? Are the good times over? I mean, it's getting kind of extended.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the stock, we're kind of going to have to wait and see. I certainly don't necessarily think the good times are over, though, for the sector. You guys said a lot here about BE's report. I don't want to chime in too much on that, but I do want to remind people that there are other avenues to play this type of story as well. CEG had a great day. Constellation Energy Group on my chart right here, giving back some of that move now, but beautiful push to the upside, as you can see right off the open. And again, similar type of play to Bloom Energy. They're a utilities and energy type of play that's really getting heavily involved in AI and data centers. So CEG is another one, VST is one as well. So I think the one thing is if we get sentiment shifting on AI specifically, I know we've heard some talk here about people worrying about the, I guess, hazards and the environmental concerns of data centers. If that type of chatter increases, that could maybe be a short-term concern for these type of names. But I think long-term, it's very, very clear the companies are still spending money on AI. And I think the earnings we'll get tonight should give us a sense of how much they're willing to spend. I think that's a really nice kind of indirect secondary catalyst for these types of plays as well.
Story over here, what are we doing? Uber expanding their robo-taxi ambitions with Lucid and a Neuro partnership. So this is, it's a good story for Lucid as well, but to me, it's more important for Uber because it gets their foot in the door with respect to autonomous. So let's talk about this one. They announced plans to launch their robo-taxi service in San Francisco by next year, by 2026. The testing apparently is already underway, and they've got 100 of these things already set to operate across the Bay Area in the coming months. That's all we know, in the coming months. The rollout will use the new Lucid Gravity SUV, and it's going to be equipped with the Neuro self-driving system, which blends, of course, EV performance with AV capability, autonomous vehicles. So here's the deal, Joey. Uber dropped $300 million into Lucid earlier this year, kind of to solidify the partnership and accelerate the EV integration with autonomous vehicles. The collaboration, though, is going to combine Lucid's electric platform with Neuro's AI driving autonomy stack and Uber's, of course, their mobility network, right? The app and people using or ride-hailing network. The companies first announced their partnership back in July, but San Francisco was not confirmed as the test city at the time. Now we get the confirmation. So we already know that Tesla is in San Fran, well, in the Bay Area. We already know that Waymo is out there. So this is not new. What's really interesting to me, though, is it works off Uber's already existing, what's it called, the network of users. Yeah. Well, we know that Waymo has their own, but it's not nearly as big as Uber. So what I'm assuming is it's going to be included in the app, and you're going to have the option like you do with Uber X and Uber XL and Uber Green and whatever else to be able to.
I think it's good, right? You want to see them get involved with this. Yeah. You know what? It's funny to think, Sharif. It's like, hey, could we see what happened with the, I guess, the Toronto, like the Toronto, even taxis in general? Yeah. Could that happen to Uber if they weren't to get involved with autonomy? Because, like, you have to think about it. They essentially don't own any vehicles, right? They don't own any vehicles at the end of the day. They employ the drivers who own the vehicles. So what if they're like, hey, what if some of these drivers are like, yeah, you know what? Everything's autonomous. We don't need you anymore. Well, so I think it's a good. I think it's a good play.
And that's why it's so creative because. Like, I hate to say it this way, but think about how much the drivers are costing Uber in terms of costs, right? They're paying, I don't know what they're getting paid per hour, okay, or per ride, or whatever metric they're using.
Well, it's margin compressed.
Exactly. So you remove that, but Randy brought up a good point. He's like, really, they're using the Lucid Gravity of $100,000, $120,000 SUV? I'm like, yeah, of course, that's very expensive. That's probably not helping margins, but when you remove the human capital side of things, that definitely does bring things back into equilibrium. And there's no hard and fast rule to say that they're going to use gravities forever and ever more. Exactly. I mean, this is the test phase, so to speak, and it could be.
And the thing is, I was listening to your All In podcast with the Uber CEO. That's when I heard about the LiDAR situation compared to the obviously easier on the software. But he was thinking, hey, they would love to partner up with Tesla with a 20,000 vehicle fleet so that they can put those vehicles on the app and then run the autonomy.
Well, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility because this doesn't say it's an exclusive agreement where Uber's prohibited from getting into a relationship with anybody else. So it should be really interesting to see kind of how this all plays out. This is an interesting take, Adara. I mean, what's your look on this? Something we already knew about from the summer. They announced it in July, but we didn't really know any of the details.
Yeah, I think as well here, we do have to take a moment to shout out Dara K, as we had Jensen Huang call him yesterday. That is, of course, the CEO of Uber. Adara. I think this is an interesting look, but I do want to mention, too, Sharif, you were just talking there about the human capital side from Uber's perspective, but I just realized this is actually a really interesting look from a consumer perspective. And I want to talk a little bit, this is going to kind of sound random, but I promise it connects back There's a lot of outrage lately over tipping culture, like the idea of tipping for everything. And we know that's the same when it comes to Ubers, any type of delivery app, service, whatever, right? So to be clear, I don't think a lot of people tip on Ubers. This would be more if they expand, I guess, into Uber Eats, etc. But I think with the robot, people feeling like they don't have to tip, I actually think that you'd probably get more usage of these types of delivery services, which if DoorDash goes more into the autonomous route as well, that could be a boon for them too. Again, this is kind of me spitballing and looking into the future a bit, but I think with regards to the human capital side from Uber, I also think it's a nice look from the consumer perspective as well. Once we get these autonomous vehicles to be a lot better, I actually think you could see pretty mass adoption fairly quickly.
Go ahead,
let me cover this here, guys. There goes Bitcoin, screen assassino. Another one off the, man, oh man, another one off of those lows.
Another one.
Yeah, so it's been a pretty good, I can't complain the past couple of days. From an accuracy standpoint, it's been absolutely phenomenal. Danker says you tagged me on Twitter with Waymo issues and everything along those lines. Is there really a... No, I'm dangerous. I'm referring to Bitcoin as that. So obviously when I get in all of my feelings, that's when I kind of degrade things, but I shouldn't at the end of the day. It's bad mentality, but we love it here. IBIT, a nice little pop to the top side tree.
Yeah, man. So same thing here with WVE as well. Continuing to go, guys. 27% in the clear, 975 high. I've put my next profit taker at 82. Let's see where this one wants to run, man. It didn't even pull back into the 10 quite yet. So I'm holding WVE, looking for that move, possibly into 10. I mean, we're not that far away from 10 bucks, so we're going to keep an eye on that one. Let's go on to the next story, though. Which one are we going to do here? Yeah, let's do Joby Aviation. Interesting one, since I'm involved in this one. So it surged up 7.5% in the pre after announcing a partnership with Nvidia to integrate its AI flight system. So what are we talking about here? So Joby was named the exclusive aviation launch partner for the IGX Thor platform, which is designed by Nvidia for next-gen physical AI applications. The collaboration is going to aim to advance Joby's Super Pilot autonomous flight system, which will be applied across both the military and civilian use cases. As I've kind of spoken about before, what I'd like to see from these eVTOL sort of neo aviation companies is military application first, because you don't really need to make money in the military. You're buying things for use. So I'd like to see that kind of be the first proof of concept, and then, you know, work your way into the commercial space. It looks like they're trying to do both. So they expect NVIDIA's technology to enhance their operational safety, perception, predictive monitoring, and digital twin model. So here's the deal, Joey. Joby's flight research lead said the autonomous systems are engineered to augment human intelligence, improving speed, precision, and all that sort of stuff. They continue to lead the electrical vertical takeoff and landing eVTOL sector with ambitious plans to make air taxis as ubiquitous as ride-hailing. I don't know about that. They recently raised about $514 million to support the FAA certification, which, remember when they raised and then it sold off. So that's going to be interesting. Obviously, certification is very important. You can't fly these things without being certified, so you got to spend what you got to spend. But what do you make of it, man? I feel like the technicals are still a little iffy here.
I wanted to ask you this because it's funny. I was driving by. I very rarely go in the airport. On the 401. And I'm driving in, and you see the line of airplanes coming in to Pearson.
Yeah.
So what happens when you have these taxis and everything? Obviously not going to be flying at the same altitude.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're going to have doorknobs if this is accessible to the public who are going to be flying in there. So there's obviously going to be policed. The airspace has to be policed.
Yeah, I anticipate there will be something like the current air traffic control, right? Where you're prohibited from flying over a certain level, or you got to maintain a certain altitude. Yeah, but like. With all that, you keep in mind, though, that the next level, we're talking about AI, we're talking about autonomous systems. So one must assume, even though it wasn't specifically articulated here, one must assume that the AI systems is going to take into consideration its surroundings.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? It's going to really know this plane is over here, this plane is over there. That's the only assumption I can make. Otherwise, what's the AI version of it, other than just taking off and landing? unobstructed.
Yeah, I agree. No, but as for it, I think it goes to that next step. As the world becomes more populated and the streets and the major metropolitans become more dense, well, where can you go? We have nowhere. It's either you go below, you go lower, or you go higher.
Yeah, well,
I think one's easier than the other, in my
For
opinion.
sure, and we know that Dubai is doing that test program now. I think they're going to launch early next year, where you're going to be able to go from the airport in Dubai to downtown. Apparently, it's 10 minutes with an eVTOL in traffic. I personally haven't done this. In traffic, it's about an hour and a half. So if it's proof of concept there, hopefully we'll see it elsewhere. Go ahead, Joey.
Do I have anything?
Oh, are we going to the big boys now? Okay, we'll roll over. All right, guys, it is time for this show to end. We're going to send you 15 minutes early to the big boys. We're talking about the FOMC rate decision coming out at 2. Then Fitcher Powell will come onto the mic at 2:30. The big boys are going to have all the coverage for you guys. So hope you had a great day with us today. But
Thank you.
It's time now to go over and see what the FOMC has.
Good day, man, guys. Let's go Bitcoin.